It's the Tanya Burn Show. Tune in right now. Like and share. Our city needs that vow. Flint City News got truth to share. When we fight the darkness, we repair. Won't give up. We're standing tall and proud. Voices rising strong, no longer shrouded. Residents deserve what's right and fair. Together we can lift the despair. We fight, we win, we break the chains. Tanya Burns won't stand out in the rain. Our city dreams will make them true. With every step it all renews. In a step it all renews.
Hey, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Look. Good morning, Mark 76, Auntie M. Carson Neubauer, Avis Hopkins. Y'all, look, if I don't see it, don't. Patrick Jean. Listen, don't charge it to my mind. Oh, I'm sorry. Look, don't charge it to my heart. Charge it to my mind. Listen, Diane Thornton. Look, I need y'all to click, like, share. Good morning, Tracy Glenn. Good morning. Listen, I need y'all to click, like, share. We got a lot to cover because I was not here last week. Debbie Clark. Hey, good morning. I was not. Diane Thornton. Good morning. John Joy. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Martha Thomas. Look, I need Aluna Calloway. Listen, click, like, and share. JWC, we need to do a council corner. Me and you need to do a council corner. Woodrow Green, what's up? Live life. Good morning. Listen, we got a lot to talk about. Y'all. What is Councilman Mason? Flint is wow. It literally is. Nay Lachey. There is a lot going on. And I have 59 million things that I am supposed to do today. And I don't know how I am going to do them all, which is an impossibility. But one thing I do, Jessica, I ain't talked to you about. Good morning from California. I was missing your show last week. Listen, look, I was missing it too, but y'all, I was happy to sleep in because I never get to sleep in. It's generally for me 7 days a week. Hey, good morning, Tia Austin. I mean, it was nice to not have to jump up at the crack of dawn to be on. I missed everybody though. Flint is a 24/7 because there's so much that is going on. Actually, way too much is going on here. And asking y'all to click, like, and share. And get those likes out so we can get this out. I had someone literally, they told me that there were things I had a conversation with them about, and they were like, well, I haven't heard about that. I said, well, you know what? You didn't watch the Tanya Burns show. We covered it. And I always try to make sure I put it up where not just my word and my thoughts, but where there is something that, as they say, bringing the receipts. And so I know people don't like the long shows, some of them, but I don't know what to tell folks. It is what it is, because if you want the information, I talk about it. And I don't just give my opinion, I give what the actual facts are. So let's do this. Carl Lewis, what up? Carl, I tried to catch your show the other night. And I don't know what happened. I think I fell asleep. I've been napping, y'all. Good morning, Deacon Dumas. Good morning. Y'all had, you know what? You had that third ward thing over there. And I did not get a chance to watch your video. of it. But I heard you for a minute. You told me that they went to. I saw where they said they were going to put you out if you recorded, and that the fabulous Miss Elizabeth Taylor was told she could not get in. Good morning, sweet cupcake on break. Good morning. And that they told her she couldn't go into the sanctuary. So that was weird. Good morning, Julina. So we got a lot to talk about because I did not get a chance. I run out of time. Good morning, Jade Williams. As opposed to things that I can do, so that and Deacon Doom is how many people, if you can put a total of the 12, was it 8 to 12, 9 to 12, and then 5 to 8. I think there were like no more than, I think they said like 10 people that were actually in there. Good morning, John Snow, Jay Picks, Melissa Zaremski, substitution with Mr. JB. Good morning. I don't know how many people were at that, but I'm going to tell you, we got press conferences to talk about that. Look, y'all know they didn't violate the Open Meetings Act. They did. Yes, the ambassador did say that. There were a total of 7 people. Oh, okay. So she needs to, if she's listening to Liddell and Candace and them, she needs to stop. Okay, let's just say that. The stuff that they do is crazy. So we got a lot that's coming up, and I'm gonna kind of we're gonna get into that press conference where they did a round robin, and we're gonna talk about what a round robin is. Y'all not become with my little stuff ready. Look, now I got an unpaper clip, unsafety clip, because it'd be a lot. We're gonna talk about city property. Y'all know we're gonna talk about that trash can. Now come on, Leon L. Alameen, Councilman, come on. What is you doing? Chris Caleb, what's up? You can't have a whole city trash can and a whole nother city using it. You can't do it. Anything with city property, we're going to get into that. You can't do it. You cannot do it. Now, I want them people who was upset about Councilman Mays with that laptop to have that same energy for Leon with that trash can. He was not using it for city purposes. So we're going to get into that. Got it in a whole municipality that ain't his. At a house that he was living at when he filed court papers, okay? Court papers in the court. All kinds of Judge Crawford Court. That whole address is on all of those documents. Official court records and documents. So we're going to get into, I got the ARPA thing. Y'all, I want to go over there, but I don't know if that's going to take a lot of time. I did request if y'all, good morning, M. Kersey. I from South Jersey here with love. Thank you. I did request to get where DeAndre Jones, good morning. I did request to have where's the ARPA money? I mean, at this point, where is their ARPA money? Because we ain't been able to use it for what we wanted to. So where is their ARPA money? So I did get the breakdown of the ARPA money. That may have to just be a whole show, but I'm going to briefly go over some of it. I did request at the meeting, was it 3 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago, to have a copy of the amount that was to be designated to the certain the categories, the organization, and how much was spent and so on. But anyways, I've got that. And I had asked the clerk to make sure that I ain't going, hello, good morning. And I had asked the clerk to have every council member to get a copy. So they do have it. JWC, you do have it too. So it is, I want to say like 60 something pages that is on there. Y'all cutting up in the chat already. So I do have that, but that's gonna have to be a whole show. So we got this meeting coming up and on Monday. And so they've got, well, we did not have a quorum on Wednesday. I did, which it is not required. Let me state this. It is not required that we let the clerk know or anybody else know that we're good and grown if we're not going to make it. But I did let the clerk know because I had something that I had to do with my mother, which many people who know, I had something I had to take care of. And so Councilman Jerry Carter, she didn't feel well. Councilman Jared's got something going on with his throat. He's been wearing his mask. He hasn't felt well. Councilman Pfeiffer was there, and Leon was not there. I don't know if he wasn't there, but he has bad attendance, by the way, too. And he likes to leave before 10:30. So it is not the same representation as Councilman Mays. Not at all. And Leon, Michelle Young called you. You didn't call her back. You said you're going to call her back. You ain't doing what you say you do at all. So I don't know after that, going by. And I'm going to briefly start. Wait, let me go over this because I'm going to get to that trash can because I have very strong feelings about residency because I had to move to a whole Saginaw city because of residency. Okay. Sell a whole house, move there because that was my husband's job. Good morning, Gutter Black. Look, at anybody else, if I did not say your name. So we are going to go over. We're going to talk about residency. We're going to talk about ethics. We're going to talk about the city property. We're going to talk about Hasselbring. We're going to talk about how they're going to try. Leon made the post about, why do you keep just doing stupid stuff? Leon, stop. He going to put up, this is how they left the condition. I'm going to get into them things because them things been a problem. They should have fixed them right in the first place. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about the renaming. That building is not named after Councilman Eric Mays. It is not. It does not have his legal name on there. It has his last name. It does not have his name. So false advertising. The mayor continues to gaslight this community. That building is not named after him at all. It does not have Eric B. Mays. And the differences, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into some people don't get the council rules. I will agree that when Councilman Mays said they are goofy rules, some of these are goofy. Good morning, Jasmine. Good morning, DeAndre. So good morning, Kwana Mac. These council rules, and people are telling you they don't know what they're talking about. I don't agree with some of the council rules, but there are some of the council rules that when they tell you like some of the things you cannot do. You cannot put a motion on the floor and say, rotate who to be president. You can't do that. That's not even in Robert's rules. You cannot do this. When you pick a president of the city council, it's supposed to be for a 1-year term. The second Monday in November is when it's supposed to be done. And that person serves the term for a full year, period. It's not all this. I'm tired of tell Tanya and Jerry Whitford Carter to put a motion on the floor. You put a motion. We don't have 5 votes. So put a motion on the floor to what? You don't think we don't know how to put a motion on the floor? Stop it. When people want to seem the best of the brightest and don't know what they're talking about, just stop. I don't agree with these rules, but I want everybody, you can Google City of Flint council rules, and you can put in 2024, because in 2024, y'all know I'm on like my 3rd or 4th set. These are what the rules have been changed. This is the last change of rules, and they are. And so when people try to say we don't know what your power, we don't go to Michigan Municipal League, that's just all lies. We go to Michigan Municipal League. Judy even has got a whole new plaque, and now she may not take many calls and everything else, but she likes going to get training and trophies and whatever. And so we have went to Michigan Municipal League, we have. There is training. You can do it online, or you can go to the conferences. There's different conferences. So when people say, oh, they don't know what they do, it kind of ticks me off, because, and especially when you got a record I could judge you harshly for, and I've chosen not to do that. So y'all can Google the goofy rules, and the rules, they really don't make sense. And we're going to go over that. And it's a lot of them, because I don't agree with, these are just some of them. And I have kept a list of which rules need to be changed, because some of them aren't even ethical. Which is going to be rule 1.2, 6.1, 6.8, 7.4, 9.4, 9.5, 9.9, 27.3, 28.6, 29.7, 29.8, 30.2, 30.3. Those need to be changed. And so I have requested legal opinions for a lot of, because they're not even ethical. They don't even give council the time to, we can't put anything, the clerk can't just put anything on the agenda unless the council president or the chair of that committee approves it. So when people are telling you all of this stuff, they need to go get these darn rules, which are crazy, that they voted on because they had 5 votes, and we had people who was proud. I'm the 5th vote. I'm the 5th vote. They were proud to say they were the 5th vote. So, anyways, yeah, Christopher Sands, big shady 11. So we're going to talk about them council rules and people, don't allow people. That's why I take the time to do a run of show and to show you where this stuff is at. Because when people shoot from the hip, sometimes they say stuff just because they want it to sound good. I want it to be a process where I'm learning, y'all learning, correct me if I'm wrong. JWC says, I have been to several municipal lead conferences and training sessions. Thank you, JWC. Thank you. And you can do them online too. So I think when people say, keep my name out your mouth, first of all. And I'm quite sure JWC, when you say, Tanya Burns and JWC, don't do that. Because a lot of stuff, they just don't know what they're talking about. They just don't. I didn't vote on these rules because they're ridiculous. And a lot of these rules, majority of these rules were tailor-made for Councilman Eric Mays. That's who they were tailor-made for. So we're gonna also get into look, does anybody know where that because I know y'all good at this. Where is that? I think 810 News Media Group had did it. I think someone did a short where Doug decided to go in there Candace went into the Ethics and Accountability Board and defended Doug, that he wasn't a racist. Doug was a great guy, and he was going to, she would defend him if he was being a racist. Well, she is defending him for being a racist because he continuously talks about Black women and Black women's skin, particularly mine. We're going to revisit this today, and I'm going to talk about a very personal issue with my skin as a Black woman, that it is genetic, is a Black woman. It's Black people, actually. I'm going to talk about that. So when she defends this man, I mean, and I ain't never seen people who keep just tap dancing for these idiots. I've never seen that. So I'm going to talk about it because we as Black people, we face different things. And it's always one of us who want to defend someone's, I don't know what to call it, because I'm trying not to swear today, because Arthur Woodson did a whole 2.5 hours of swearing, and that was a lot. So we also gonna get into we're gonna briefly talk about some of these videos out here. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. How we need to start supporting people. How we're getting Black men or men, period, who have I feel that they're comfortable to say things to women. We're going to talk about the tape with Miss Elizabeth Taylor when she was called a dumb bitch. Okay, we're gonna talk about that. And I don't know if y'all saw, somebody send it to me. Jedediah Brown got a whole video, a whole 4-minute video, a whole 4-minute video. I hate Walmart. Okay, and I know everybody's saying we're supposed to be boycotting. This was on a non-boycotting day. It was sent to me. If it was boycotting yesterday, I had to get to Walmart. I had to get a prescription and some other stuff. But he got a whole video out there, and I'm like, okay, is he coming to do like Super Mayor Tiffany Henry what he did there to do here? Because things have got to change. We get people who don't want to fight. You want to complain, but you don't want to fight. And you don't want to voice your opinion. You can't afford to sit back quietly. You can't. We can no longer afford to sit back quietly. So we're gonna talk about that. I think I'm gonna do a whole show on just the ARPA, y'all, because that's gonna take a while. What we do know is that Councilwoman Liddell Lewis received a total of $75,000 for her nonprofit. And Judy loves to say, well, it went through a fiduciary. Judy, stop the nonsense. Go play with somebody else, Cash Kitchen. I'm not getting to play with her. Okay? Not at all. And that $75,000 that $75,000 went to a nonprofit that has her bank name on it, that's deposited into her bank account, that she is the originator and incorporator of August of 2021, that she originated it and she incorporated it. That's the ethics violation. I mean, and then out, she voted to give it to her. So she was her own fifth vote. And so we know that we have council members who have gotten more money than the residents have gotten. And, I don't know what she's doing with her nonprofit. And she hits up other people. There are people talking about you now. They talking, and when Candace and Judy hid in the back room so that they didn't have to vote for Phil Schultz. What an embarrassment. They got up out their seats, y'all, to hide in the back. And I got up out my seat to tell, what are y'all doing? This is ridiculous. And they standing back there huddling in the hallway. I'm like, so the mayor calls up and tell y'all don't vote for Phil Schultz, and y'all go huddle in the hallway in the back as to avoid the vote. Also, another person who avoids the vote is Leon. Don't nobody go to the bathroom that much. He gets up every time it's a vote with a slick self, and he goes in the back. When the vote is over, he shuffles back in. Yes, he does. So we're going to get started. The first thing we're going to talk about, let's put up that trash can. Let's put the trash can up. So the video is gone. So that is a dirt road, y'all. And let me be very clear. Flint don't have any dirt roads because it's a city. It's a municipality. And we have sidewalks. So you see that nice city trash receptacle that is on that street. That is not a city street. It is not. So whose house is that in front of? Who lived at that? Well, we've seen Leon's car here because everybody has seen the video. So yeah, we're going to talk. But that can has obviously been there in the summertime, the wintertime. So on those cans, they have serial numbers. It states got the city of Flint seal. It's got the mayor's name, Mayor Sheldon Neely, which, by the way, is illegal. You cannot use city funds to put your name on city property. He can't do that either. That is against the law. Tiffany Henyard got in trouble for that. So we have got the city can. So we got a different shot of it, producer Jay. So it's got the city seal, City of Flint. It's got all the things that show you it does not belong in Mount Morris Township on the dirt road. It does not. So this is city property. So one example, and not, one thing that you can't do is use city property for things other than the city. So there was trash in this. This is at a house that was in Mount Morris. This house is the same address. Now that one shows you New York. That's a New York trash can. Y'all don't see no mayor's name on it. The mayor's name is not on the trash cans in New York, okay? Not. City of Flint has Mayor Sheldon Neely's name on it. Now, he no better than that. So let's go on to the next one. So while we sitting up here struggling, and his nonprofit is doing very well. Very well. I mean, he has gotten, I think it was in a 12-month period, it's like over $1 million. And so while people here are still saying fix the water and fix the roads, he's living his best life. So with the city trash can, and we can put that one back up, please. Do we got the serial number? The one with the serial number. The serial number that is on there. And so the use of the city property on page 10, underneath 9 and 10, underneath ethics, section 1, that there goes the serial number to the trash can. That is each, and let me tell you why that's important. Each trash can has a serial number that goes to the address where it was dropped off at. That's where it belongs. It does not belong in Mount Morris Township full of trash with Leon L. Alamene's new black Cadillac. And it's a nice Cadillac, by the way, sitting in the driveway. And it was clean. I mean, you cannot make this up. So here is the trash can. That's the serial number. This is city property, flat out. We know how people are upset. Oh, Councilman Mays used city property. He used it for purposes other than it is intended for. Okay, Leon is using this. Oh, y'all, ain't that a nice cat? That is nice. Leon, that is nice. I ain't mad at you for that one. I need a new car, but I'm too busy spending on legal fees and everything else. So, so I do want to say, so that serial number, we're gonna go back to page 9. Ethics 1-602. Yeah, I know I write in my book. So ethics, what is the purpose of ethics? Because this is unethical, y'all. Look, I'm sorry, y'all. This is a resident calling me. I gotta take this. Hello. Good
morning. How are you?
I'm good. I'm on my podcast. Did they show up for the house?
It's a great truck over here. Some guys just put down in that house. So
is it a city? Is it a city seal on there?
No.
Okay, do me a favor. Call 911. Call not. Can you call 911 and tell them that this was a city property? Yeah, if you can do that for me.
Okay. All right.
Thanks. Bye bye. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. I've been working on my list of homes, and I'm gonna get back to this. Homes that are abandoned, they are currently stripping, making sure that we can get them condemned if they're missing the furnaces, the hot water heater, the copper, and so on. So that is, and I probably need to call because I'm gonna have to mute for just a moment, y'all. Producer Jay, I'm gonna have to mute because I need to call it in myself.
Want to grow your business? Advertise with The Tanya Burns Show and unleash your brand's potential. Contact us today for advertising rates. Call 810-354-5843. That's 810-354-5843 or email hcrcga@gmail.com. Want to grow your business? Advertise with The Tanya Burns Show and unleash your brand's potential. Contact us today for advertising rates. Call 810-354-5843. That's 810-354-5843 or email hcrcga@gmail.com.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So, look, y'all, they stripping these houses. So my residents they be on it. Sorry about the break. I like to make, well, not like I do, because I've been working on my list of homes that are abandoned, making sure we can get them boarded up so that they don't go up in flames, and find out who the owner is, and so that they don't, because they'll strip everything out of the house, including the windows. Are they kidding me? Hey, I'm on my live broadcast. What? They can't comment on YouTube? Everybody is commenting. Are y'all having problems commenting on YouTube? I don't think they are. Bye-bye. Okay. Oh, okay. Everybody's good. Okay. So they on their way. Look, if y'all see somebody and y'all in here playing, they stripping the house, they don't belong there, call 911. Call 911. This way this week I had people in an abandoned home next to a burnt up home. We had people living in there. They had been storing garbage and everything else in there. Thank you, Bishop T. Priestley. And so they had been storing everything in there. House went up in flames. One of the residents called me, told me it was a family in there. It turned out to be there wasn't anyone, but they had to evacuate the homes like in that block because the fire was so much. Thank you, Jasmine. Okay, we're gonna get back to we left off on ethics. Look, my handy dandy charter. So back to ethics, page 9. Ethics, purpose of ethics. We're getting back to this trash can. That trash can with the serial number belongs to the city of Flint. It does not belong to Mount Morris Township on no dirt road with no trash in it. It does not. It does not. So the purpose of the ethics, the purpose of this section is to provide a method of protecting the public interest in the electoral and governmental affairs of this city. This section recognizes that the proper operation of the city of Flint's government requires that all city servants, as defined in this charter, be independent, impartial, and responsible to the people, that decisions and the policy be made in the proper channels of governmental structures, that the public office of employment not be used for personal gain. They've been doing that, so that's a problem. That the integrity and the operation of the city government be subject to scrutiny by the public, and the actions not compatible with the best interest of the city of Flint and defined. So we're going to go over to page 10. Part of ethics. It's a violation. Standards. Underneath standards, section C, page 10. Use city of Flint property for other than city purposes. Page 10, underneath standards. Y'all, that trash can was used in Mount Morris Township on a dirt road for purposes other than trash in Flint. For other than trash in Flint. It ain't even the same trash company. They have, I believe, Republic there. We have Priority. But they have a whole trash can that Mayor Sheldon Neely does press conferences with in front of this house. Leon L. Alameen was that because the girl that he was, the lady that he got court papers, and that's his nice shiny new Cadillac, and this is his trash can. You cannot use city of Flint property for other than city purposes. Those trash cans are not meant for you to put trash in the city of Mount Morris. You can't do that. So on the left side. Yeah, that's not Flint, John. That's not Flint. That is not Flint. Not at all. That is Flint Township over there. Flint does not have dirt roads. And that's why you'll see city sidewalks. And municipalities have sidewalks. Cities have sidewalks. That's what you're saying, grow up city sidewalks. This trash can is the city and the property of Flint. It has a serial number. It has the city seal on it. It even has the current mayor's name on it. You cannot use it for that. Other than the next issue he has, Because so when we can compare it to, people were so outraged. Oh, Councilman Mays' laptop, he did this and he did that with it. He used it for other purposes intended than what it was intended for. Yes, and he was charged for that. Leon should be charged with this for this trash can. He should be charged. It's very clear. He should be charged. You can't say you were upset about Councilman Mays and the laptop and not be upset that he took a whole city trash can with a serial number and a city seal, used it to put trash in for his day-to-day use, and moved it to an entire different location in another municipality. You cannot. The charter is only as a suggestion. Actually, J. Picks, no, it's not. You cannot take that. This one is law. Our charter is set up underneath the Michigan Home Rule Act, and our charter is defined. So these are things which are into law. And then there's ordinances that actually goes with them. So he should not have taken that whole city trash can and put it over there and use it to put trash in. It's not what it was meant for. It is intended purposes to be used in the city of Flint at the address that that serial number is located and connected with. That is what I was saying. They don't follow. Oh, JP, 100%. I'm sorry. You are 100% correct. You are 100%. They don't follow. They don't. It is. Well, I don't even know if it's a suggestion. You might have to go a little lower with the bar for that one. We might have to. I mean, they do whatever they want to do. And so that trash can, so I apologize for that. That trash can it's not supposed to be there. It's like taking, it's no different if we're saying that we talk about even say like the laptop. Oh, he took and you hear people say he took Councilman Mays took a laptop. He took a trash can. He know better. Get your own trash can for where you're living at. So put the one up because he got people been checking him out. I mean, his neighbor's been telling on him. So we got one out there. This was in the winter. So this is where he living. His neighbors didn't have videos of him out there it's in the snow. It should be. I mean, when your neighbors don't like you and care for you and think you wrong, he got to pay attention. There's a lot of Trump signs over there. It's a lot of them over there. And they don't like that. You got to be not careful. Just don't do it. Residency is real. And I'm going to say this. You got to live where you say you're going to live. And when you don't, then it is then it can be a problem. So he does not I don't know how he gonna get around this one, but I was told that there are people who are not just one or two people who are filing a police report with the Michigan State Police. There is a councilman who is, and is a councilman who lives, or I'm sorry, he's a commissioner who lives in a different city. And in this city, because residency, you can, you have to stay where you say you stay at. And so he doesn't stay where he stays at. So can you put up the article with the commissioner? I forget his name. Oh yeah, Lapeer Commissioner McMahon charged with lying about residency on his candidate affidavit. Leave that up because we're going to get into that because there is some good stuff on this. So let's get into this article. So he has a special prosecutor. His special prosecutor is David Layton, which is the Genesee County prosecutor. This is actually in Lapeer County. And so I'm going to read the article. It's with the Davison Index News. And so on February 4th, Columbiaville, this is next county over. So it's not like this is, far. Lapeer Commissioner McMahon charged with lying about residency on his affidavit. On February 14th, District 1 Lapeer County Commissioner Scott McMahon, 47 of Columbiaville, was charged with one count of election law, false swearing, a felony punishable by up to 5 years in prison for swearing falsely while under oath for the purpose of qualifying as a candidate. After a concerned citizen alleged that McMahon did not live in the district when he filed for candidacy, a petition was filed by Lapeer County Prosecutor John Miller in the office, Michigan. Miller to the office, Michigan. I don't think that's correct in that sentence. Attorney General Dana Nessel. Attorney General Dana Nessel to avoid a conflict of interest, as Miller reports to the county board. Nessel appointed Genesee County Prosecutor David Layton as special prosecutor to handle the matter. Upon our review of the investigative reports from the Michigan State Police, you got to file with the Michigan State Police. They have responsibility to actually investigate this. Reports from the Michigan State Police and their request for a warrant. We have found sufficient probable cause evidence alleging that McMahon did not reside at the address listed in his candidate affidavit when filed to run for Lapeer County in the 1st District, said John Potberry. Yeah, that's interesting. Somebody called and told me somebody went to Potberry and tried to file some false charges on me. That was interesting. Deputy Chief Assistant Prosecuting Attorney from the Genesee County Prosecutor's Office. McMahon responded via phone to the county press on Friday and said he was unaware of any charge brought against him by the Genesee prosecutor. I live here in the district, McMahon said. I've lived here. I talked to law enforcement. I was in the process of moving and living there part-time. I was living there at the filing deadline. So Michigan State Police investigated this. So this is going to be interesting. And so they're saying that they found sufficient evidence that that was not true. So I think Leon may have a problem because that whole city trash can, if it does it go back to one of his properties, the Michigan State Police has a responsibility to investigate these issues. So we know where he is. We know that those other papers that he filed in court with that Shawnetta, those papers was all with that address where that trash can. Those papers are where the address with the trash can is at. So we're gonna move on. So if you in the 1st ward, y'all need to y'all Councilman Mundy don't live where he say he live, because if he there at that other house every day, and that ain't you can't do that. Residency is there for a reason. Residency is a requirement that you must live by. And I'm not just saying because I believe it. I'm saying because I had to live it. I had to move to Saginaw because my husband was required then that if you work for the city, you had to live in the city where you work. We had to sell a whole house and move our children there. And that was the requirement. You have to do what you have to do. And so Woodrow Green, whose name is on the house, I'm told his name is, but you can have more than one property. I don't know if the home was homesteaded there. I don't know if he has the homestead there, but I don't know. That's a job for the Michigan State Police to do. And you cannot live in Trump land and think them folks not going to tell on you. I'm just saying, you just can't. Some of them still got their Trump signs out, and the election is over. It is over. It is over. So that is a serious, that is underneath the ethics. That is a problem. You cannot take, items that are intended for, the city and use them in Mount Morris. So let's go on to the next thing. So I just like to put up where guy, and then let me say this. It's not just, there are 3 people down in Detroit area. I want to say Oakland, two are in Detroit, one is in Oakland, and they hire private investigators, and they don't live where they live. They were brought up on charges. This was last year. 3 people 3 people. So you got to live where you say you live, and that's just that. So if not, Michigan State Police has a responsibility to prosecute you. But let's put up the part about Councilman Mays. Is the new Hasselbring is named the Mays Community Center. So can we put up the picture with that? The Mays Community Center. So the Mays Community Center had a lovely sign. Let's leave that up. So the Mays Community Center, and it says Flint City Strong. Then it has Mayor Neely's name. So you got a whole apostrophe. There are literally 4 letters in his last name. Y'all, come on. I mean, they couldn't get that right. Okay, so the name, they had a whole apostrophe. That's the problem. Then we also have the mayor. Why is his name on there? Then you have, y'all, to top it off, they put it up with duct tape. I'm sad. They put the temporary sign up with duct tape. It was duct tape. You can see the little shiny stuff, the little tape going across it. I mean, this was the most ridiculous. I mean, this was classless, very classless. And so a few hours later, because it was put on a brick structure, it fell down. They put apostrophe in his name. Now they had time to do something. You couldn't get those, what's those little toggle things? You can put them in and then put them, tap them in. They could have put that up properly. They put it up. They got a whole maintenance department. And Lee know how to put that up right. They put that up with duct tape. Then put a whole apostrophe and then whited it out. They whited it out. You can't make this up. If you're going to honor someone, do it in the correct way or don't do it at all. Don't do it at all. Council did not vote to have the name changed. All buildings that are City of Flint buildings, if they're going to go through a name change, have to go through City Council. We have not voted on this. And we had to vote on the Gloria Coles Library as a name change. Judy voted no on that. Judy voted no on the Gloria Coles Library. Gloria Coles is a Black lady. She had whatever. I don't know what her problem was with that one, but she didn't support that. So then we go inside. Okay, so they put his portrait down on the floor. So the mayor's got the city seal. Mays's portrait is down on the floor. And you see it with the red arrow there. Can you make it big, Producer Jay, please? So you see it's on the floor. Unbelievable. No stand, no easel, no, it's not adorned with a balloon bouquet, nothing to highlight that this is the honor. We're honoring Councilman Eric Mays. We're naming the center, and his name ain't on that center. It's Mays spelled incorrectly with an apostrophe. So his name ain't on there. It was misspelled. It's completely disrespectful and tasteless and classless. So they put the picture down on the floor, and they would raise it up when family members, some of the family members were speaking. They would raise it up off the floor and to show his picture. Yeah, you can't make this up. Then we know they know how to do it right. We know how a proper ceremony or opening, grand reopening and naming, because look, this is actually in the same building. in the I guess the Mazes, I don't know how you pronounce it, because his name is Mays, Eric Bradford Mays. And we know they know how to do it, put it on an easel. There was no easel. They put it on the floor. But who had an easel? Mayor Sheldon Neely. He got his picture up there, and he's saying, think positive, speak positive, be positive for a positive Flint. And he has a really nice balloon bouquet down and around his board with his picture on it. A really nice balloon spray. But Mays was down on the ground. That was disrespectful to have the family there for that. The sign duct taped to the building. It has fallen off. You spelled the last name wrong. You put an apostrophe. And then you had Councilman Eric Mays' portrait down on the ground. He couldn't even get an easel. Look, there's the name spelled wrong. And so when you do tasteless and classless, and it was classless, he shouldn't have did it at all. He shouldn't have did it at all. And so that was disheartening. And shame on Mayor Sheldon Neely for doing that. You give an event and you do it so you can have a press conference. It wasn't about Mays. You showed what you thought about him by putting his picture on the ground. You put it on the ground. So, and they lifted it up when they talked about him. And I'm like, are they kidding me? This is what they would do. Covering their face when the family was talking with Mays' side. Utterly ridiculous. But what we do want to say is the Hasselbring with the new location, which is on Pearson Road, right next to Mount Carmel, almost at the corner of Pearson Road and Fleming Road. We'll have a grand opening on March 31st. They will come celebrate with us, music therapy, massage therapy, mini manis, haircuts, styles, braiding, eyebrow arch, fill-in, Avon Beauty products. There's going to be, and lunch will be served. So 10 a.m. grand opening, March 31st at the Hasselbring Center. And that'll be there. The one on Pearson Road. The other one is the Mays Center with the tacky program. Very tacky program. And so one thing we do know, they living their best life. So we do have a video showing over there. Y'all, they over there line dancing. Beverly Lewis, shout out to you for keeping your head up and keeping it moving. Because what you did not do is stop or have a misstep when you made your decision. You have fought continuously to do what is right. And then they do this other garbage. So do we have a video? Look, I'm going to go there and learn how to line dance. Because y'all know I like that. Where them fans at? Look, I want to learn that one. Now, I want to learn that one. And so when we look at this, I'm gonna have to go back down to read. When we look at the support that she's getting, and every day they have people joining. People don't want to be a part of the mess. People, don't split the seniors, and it's unfortunately, it's unfortunate. But they got it sideways. It is sideways. Beverly Lewis, we gotta help you out. So this is them. Class was full. This is a couple days ago, where they are line dancing.
Class. This is the first day of line dancing with Gloria Dukes. And as you can see, the seniors have showed out. Hey, baby. It has been a while.
Good. Glad to hear
you. Yes. Hey, y'all say hi to Facebook Live. Hey, there we go. There's Gloria Dukes. Y'all come on out, line dance with Gloria Dukes on Thursdays from 11 to 12. I got you, boo. I got you. We got all the old folks, the young old, the medium old, and the old. And then my knee wasn't swollen. I was planning on getting out there with y'all today, but my knee said no way. Okay. Say it again, Gloria. What is it?
This is Juke Join Love.
All right.
Arm to the right.
All right.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 to the left. 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, producer Jay. So listen, if you want to have a good time, call the Hasselbring Center. If you are a senior, go have a good time, around good people. And shout out to Beverly Lewis, who continues to do what's right for the people. You deserve it, giving you your flowers today. So they do have the grand opening on March 31st, 10 a.m., and they have activities throughout the whole day. And those aren't the only activities. They have billiards that are going on daily. They got a lot of stuff going on daily. Billiards, massage therapy, different domino. The dominoes games is real. I'm just gonna say they talk a lot of junk up there, y'all. Don't go up there trying to play dominoes if you don't have a good dominoes game. I'm just saying. They do corn husk haul, corn throw, little bean bags. They follow the rules. So they don't even let you cheat up there, okay? They see, you got to stand back this way. Oh, that don't count. Don't go up there trying not to follow the rules doing no corn haul, because they take it serious. I'm just telling you. I done tried to do it, and I done tried to, but they don't play with you up there. You're gonna play right, and you're gonna be fair. You're gonna be fair up there. So shout out to Miss Bear. She's keeping it moving. They're located on the corner of like Pearson, next to Mount Carmel, Pearson Road, and Fleming Road. Go have a good time and share that with people, because they are doing a wonderful job. They're doing an absolutely wonderful, wonderful job. So I do want to talk about, let's put up the differences. So when they left, and we did not talk about this. Can you put up the picture of the post first? There's a post that Councilman El-Amin made. I've never seen a councilman work against the people like this. I've never seen it. And so he made a post, and in his post, he said, this is how the current person left the building. And it's got like little squares in it and so on. And him stating like she left the building in a bad way, which was just not true. When you leave, if you take the TV off the wall, guess what? It's going to be some wiring that is there, and there was conduit that it was there also. So, she didn't take the cable wires out and yank them out. She didn't do that. So some of the false claims that he was helping to exasperate, shame on him. He should be doing better. Those pictures, where are they at? I've got them. I think so the pictures that and I just sent them to, you got it. So the pictures, he made a statement. And then after this one, producer Jay, I want to show where they didn't have the supports and then where the supports were. So it says the previous service provider, this is Leon El-Amin, the previous service provider who was managing the Hasselbring Senior Center building left it in this condition before they left. Things were taken in the bathroom stalls, etc. Come out tomorrow for the soft opening and renaming of the center tomorrow and see all of the progress. Come on, Leon. You ain't even answering people's calls. People calling me, you hanging up on them when residents are calling you. Yeah, they done left voicemail because I ain't always available. So he's showing the countertop. So can we show, this is his post that he made. So what he didn't do was tell the truth about what happens with the county. So this is the run of the countertop. The run of the countertop is a very long run. So when seniors wash their hands, you lean on it for support. There was no support. The weight of the sinks and the weight of the counter, and then with seniors leaning on it. So there was a slight pull up from the wall. And it's been this way for about 6-7 years. And Lee and maintenance should have known you need support there. So it was slightly pulled. Now, this is the condition of the bathroom. They act like the bathroom was this is how she left it, like it was torn up. She has put in, and you can FOIA the emails and the requests, and she's asked him numerous times, and he would come reattach it. But because the weight of the sink and the length of the run, you needed to have real support there, real support. So let's put the next one up. So now that they figured out, well, the sink isn't going to stay attached to the wall because it's too darn heavy. It's too heavy to stay on the wall. So now this is the after picture. Now, when they renamed it the Maze Center, they can now fix the sinks correctly. The city was the landlord. Why didn't the city fix the sinks correctly? And why does she keep having to ask to come back to fix the sinks? When this is all they had to do. Because when anybody, say even if you're a mom, you go in like the women's bathrooms. Moms, well, they got the little diaper thing, you got a baby, you'll sit your baby up on the counter, So that other counter didn't have support. And so if you lean in and say they're in their walker or whatever, or their cane, they lean up against the sink for support. That sink was too long to not have support. Now they have supports, but they should have had the supports all along. The support should have been there, not a rocket science to know that they could not, that the width and the weight and the run of that sink could not support it. They knew that, but now they fixed it. And he puts up like she did something wrong. No, the landlord was the city. Why didn't the landlord properly secure the sink so that the sink wouldn't keep detaching from the wall? That's what should have been done. That's what should have been done. So we're gonna go on past that, but don't always believe what you're saying if they're not putting it up there. He made a blanket statement to go after the center because they have moved. They're not affiliated with the city. They've done their work. Let them do their thing. Y'all over there, and it's unfortunate the mayor's giving these tacky parties. I hate the seniors are feel like they have to choose, but enjoy both facilities if that's what you want, seniors. Enjoy both of them. But what it shouldn't be, look, if they cooking over there, they doing it, go get your meal at both. But mayor should have been ashamed to give that tacky grand opening and to put Maze's portrait on the floor, not even on an easel at all. So let's go on to the next. We're going to go on to can we pull up, were you able to pull up open up the council rules? Because I do want to go, I want to get into those council rules. And was anybody able to find that video where Candace, thank you, where Candace was over there at the ethics board defending Doug? Was anybody able to find that? So the first one is that one. So the council rules that we went into, and some of these council rules are just ridiculous. And I'm going to read them. But you can also just make sure that when you go on there, you got to put for 2024 rules governing as adopted. So I'm going to go with the first ridiculous council rule because there's several of them. But the first ridiculous one is 1.2. Well, I'm not going to say ridiculous. So 1.2, we know everybody get thrown out. So this is parliamentary authority. 1.2, the chair shall preserve order and decorum, may call other council members to order, may speak to points of order in preference to other council members. The chair shall decide all questions arising under these rules and general parliamentary practice and may seek the advice of others as to chair's discretion. We know they don't follow these rules. We had a whole conspiracy to incite a riot on October 14th. Chief Green has not arrested one person. Not one person has been arrested. Not one warrant has been issued. He got a whole public safety plan saying that the ordinance that he's going to investigate. You got video. You got their names. You know who they are. They went home and made videos about it. And Chief Green, you ain't did nothing, not anything. And I'm going to slide off of that one for me because we're going to get to later a comprehensive public safety plan. And we do not have one as we continuously have shootings. So the next one, we know that they don't keep order. They use these rules against the people that they don't like, Rule 6.1 is going to be the next one. And actually, it's so many. The rules, there needs to be a working session so all council is there together to go over them. 6.1 matters. This is our agenda. Because people all say, why don't they put it on the agenda? Because you can't. The rules have been adopted. And when you read the rules, then you understand. Rule 6.1, matters shall be placed on the agenda of any meeting of the city council by the action of the council president, any chairperson of any chair committee, or at the request of the mayor. It doesn't even say for the clerk or the council member. So if you're not a chair, you can't put nothing on here. These rules, they have 5 votes. Quincy voted on it. He was their 5th vote. These were adopted 4/22/2024. Then also, you got Rule 6.8. It may be placed, Rule 6.8. Items may be placed in the committee agenda by request of any council member. The mayor, the clerk, special order must be approved by the council president or committee chair for a meeting. The clerk may reassign items to an appropriate committee at his or her discretion, but she cannot approve to put anything on. So it silences the voice of everybody else. It gives them a power and a position that you cannot do anything else. They have sole discretion over the agendas. It's in the rules, 6.8. So the clerk can't even, only thing she can do is say something that should be in finance and put it on governmental op. She can put on a different agenda, but then she still has to contact that chairperson. And so when we talk about that, it becomes a problem because you cannot get items that you care about. One, the administrative consent order. And people keep talking about, the water. Well, you know what? I've been trying to get the administrative consent order on, and guess what? They won't do it. Also, I have put on there to ask it to request to have someone speak to the water settlement. Although the city of Flint is not responsible for the water settlement, to have attorneys come speak and to have a 20-minute or 30-minute session because people are asking, what is the quality of our water? And where's the state of our water? Where's the water settlement? Until we get 5 votes, you can't do anything. I have asked. People asked about, and I read this. This is probably my 3rd one that I have done, but in regards to the ARPA funds. And so when people try to say, I know what I do, and it's so much you can't even get into, but what I did request, because we don't know where the ARPA funds, and getting back to it, I'm gonna go back to the rules, the ARPA funds. And so where we at, we don't know. Y'all know Judy was the crypt keeper of the ARPA funds. I don't know anything. That's on my other computer. I don't know that. Yeah, stop. And so what I have emailed and requested the last time that I did send this was this Monday. I had sent it this Monday. And so this is, I don't know how many times I've sent it, but we have a new attorney. And so I like to make sure that I do my due diligence. So I says, greetings. I'm requesting a copy of all employees of the former Hasselbring Senior Center. That would include the director, assistant director, any and all employees with and without benefits. In addition, I would like to know the total amount of expenditures for the center since the city took over running day-to-day operations. That should include, but not limited to, labor, equipment, furniture, attorney fees, audio, visual, flooring, painting, and etc. I am requesting a line item and the account numbers that these items were paid from. Thanks in advance. So when people say they need to do, I've done this. When people want to get on there and try to say what the council not doing, ask us first. ask us first. That has been sent, and actually over probably 3 times. That one, the last time I sent it was Monday. Monday was the last time. And so I'm gonna skip back over to these rules. Rule 6 point, we can't put nothing on the agenda. We don't. But I want people to have good information so that we can have and we can know what's going on. Hey, listen, producer, you can look, y'all, while I'm looking for my next rule thing. Listen, if you can click like Chief Green is Pepper J. Pigs, he needs to retire. Okay, y'all got y'all to go. Okay. Chief Green ain't doing his job with all the videos. So listen, if y'all can hit the click, like, share, subscribe, and then also if you can hit the Cash App button, donate to $, and producer Jay, can you pop that up for a minute? All right, that's up on 6.8. I need to go to 7.4. So some of these rules. So please kindly donate to Cash App, $ producer J 1987. Please kindly donate to Cash App, producer J 1987. I cannot do this without producer J. This is a lengthy process. I won't be on all day today, y'all, because I got about 3 or 4 more things to go to. So if you can hit that $, if you can hit that $, and we can and donate. So that is up there. And it's also, y'all, at the bottom of the scroll. It's at the bottom of the scroll. So hello, hey, Berta baby. Y'all know I just like saying it. Otis Johnson. So when we look at that, the scroll is also at the bottom to tip the producer at Cash App, $ producer J, $ producer J 1987. So it's the bottom of the scroll too. The bottom of the scroll. Carol, you got funny. Look, we can go on for 5 hours, but look, I don't think I got 5 hours in me. I got shots the other day, and listen, they still hurt. So listen. So the next one, I think I left on 6.8. We can't place anything on the agenda. And so when people speak, I try to be conscious, and I may make mistakes, but to let people know what it is you can and what it is you cannot do, and to show where it is at. Because when you just put information out there and you judge people on it, you become part of the problem. So not all day. March Madness start back up at 12:10. I know, and listen, people will throw you out their house for that. For March Madness. So I'm gonna go on to 7.4. 7.4. Rule 7.4, all determinations, actions, votes, or dispositions of motions, proposals, recommendations, resolutions, orders, bills by which the city council effectuate or formulates public policy must be made during the open session. So open session means we have to do it in the public where it's a public posting. We know that ain't true. We know that ain't true. Then you have got the next one, 8.1. All official action of the council shall be by ordinance, resolution, but decisions on parliamentary procedures may be made upon motion. Other actions may be made by motion, including decisions or parliamentary procedure. Y'all know they just make up rules as they go. 9.4. All council members must be designated at their designated seating to vote. We know that ain't true because Liddell sat in Eva's seat and was voting and would not go back to the seat, to her seat. Then we have got 9.5, interruption of votes. 9.5, it states interruption of votes. Interruptions during the taking of a vote are of a vote are permitted only before a member has actually voted, unless sometimes occurs in ballot voting. Other business is being asked, transacted during voting tabulating. Look, y'all, they got up there, had a whole conference in the middle of a vote when they were doing that vote. You can't do that. Rule 9.9. Y'all know this is their favorite. Abstaining from voting on the question of direct personal interest. No member should vote on a question in which he or she has a direct personal or pecuniary interest not common to the other members of the organization. What the hell? You shouldn't have voted on Cyrus Park. This rule does not mean that a member should not vote for him or herself for an office or other position to which members are generally eligible for. But shouldn't you be voting on your own nonprofit that you started up, that you were the person who started up everything? You originated, you incorporated it. I'm just saying. So these are some of the rules that they don't follow. And the rules, we need to have a working session. And the rules are subject to change every year, every single year. 25.4, the member making a point of order must explain the point of order in 10 seconds. Who gonna do that in 10 seconds? Come on. Not this, that's a goofy rule. You can't even cite if you're citing Robert's rules or anything else. You cannot. Rule 26.2, a request for information that asks a question. This was strictly a maze rule, y'all. A request for information that asks a question for which the requester already knows the answer. An example, isn't that true? Y'all know Mays used to do that. Do you realize that? This rule was specifically for Mays. Is improper. A request for information, seeking information about the speaker's knowledge or state of mind. Do you know that? Or why do you think that? Or feel, believe that? Is improper. That rule they made up, 26.2, should be the Councilman Eric Mays rule. That's what they should be making that as. 28.6, council members may request from the presiding chair the opportunity to ask questions of staff to others during debate on any item. Any such questions and responses shall count against the person's time. I don't know if y'all remember where me and Candace had a whole back and forth where she was saying, you can't ask people in the audience to come up to speak. You ask anybody you want to through the chair. I mean, they just lie with stuff. They just lie. 27. Now, this one I don't like. Rule 29.7. Council members may not speak during public hearings nor respond to speakers. I don't like that because there are certain questions with the public and they've limited this time because these are like big changes. We're talking about putting something into law and you can't talk and you can't ask questions. I don't like shutting down the public's voice. They want you to do what you say like Trump does. Do what we say and that's it. 29.8, any council meeting may be called to order by president or any council member to fail to be germane for vulgarity or for speaking in excess of allotted time. But we know they only putting out people they don't like. That's it. 27.2, or I'm sorry, 27.3. Here's another one they don't follow. Council members may not, 27.3, council members may not engage in any type of argumentative discourse with members of the audience at any time for any reason. And we're not supposed to argue with each other and to be respectful and to show decorum. I don't know. They don't do that. So what I suggest for people, because the rules, some of these rules are just for Councilman May. Councilman Mays, may he rest in heaven, is no longer here. So these rules are to shut your rights down, to shut your time down in debate. It is to basically put you in a capsule that they can control you in. And those what those rules are. I'm not in agreement with those rules. They need to be redid in a public session so that the public, because a lot of these, and we look at that public safety rule, and then they've been put the press back in the little corner, public should have been able to weigh in on that. I like to hear the public's reaction. I don't think that like tripods is a big deal. Who cares? Don't be in public, don't be a public official if all these things with engaging with the public seem to bother you. So we're going to go on to now that press conference. So Producer Jay, in between that, look, if y'all can, thank you. Flint City Council members hold a press conference to urge. Now you have got there Councilwoman Priestley, Councilwoman Lewis, Councilwoman Mushat, and LaShawn, the third ward ambassador. We're Linda Booth because she's a third ward ambassador too. They trying to do a slick way of putting her as a third ward council. That is not, if I was her, I would not be up there with them three, because I'm going to tell you, when she's aligning herself with them people, I'm not supporting her. Absolutely not. We are of a day and time that we have to say what we mean and mean what we say. She had press conferences with them. I mean, come on, this is just, and then they're breaking a press conference because they talking about an issue that's going to be on our agenda. So what is on our agenda? And y'all, pay attention to the scroll. Please donate to $ Cash App. Producer J1987, and hit the like button. So do we have the video, Producer J, of the conference? I think it's with the city of Flint one, where they're having a whole press conference telling us about, first of all, the mayor said he passed the balanced budget. But did you pass the balanced budget if you got to give $2 million from ARPA to balance the water fund? And how much of ARPA got to go to balance? Well, the trash fund, I think we did $2 million to balance it for 2 years. So something ain't right. So I'm just saying that ain't no balanced budget now. But we gonna get into that. We gonna get into that. So
I didn't get a video for that.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, I thought I sent that. My bad. Let me go into, because the city of Flint, it is at, so they're giving a whole thing on what they're, what they think, should be done, and then urging them to call council members to vote for balancing the water fund by using ARPA funds. And so there were people who were watching. And where did the video go? Oh, it was Flint Beat. Flint Beat did the they did the video. They were there filming live. Okay. So in this press conference, it gives an unfair advantage to LaShawn Johnson over Beverly Biggs, AC Dumas. It gives an unfair advantage because they've got her attending everything, and like she's a council person already. Now, we didn't know anything about, what their plan was to balance, because first time we saw it was at this press conference in which they shared this information. So what they did is what they call a round robin. And so a round robin is where they kind of circumvent the Open Meetings Act, and they are circumventing it to get a desired result. And the meeting was not posted because you got more than 2 people. So open meeting law. Many jurisdictions have open meeting laws that require public bodies, including boards, to hold meetings that are open to the public and follow specific procedures for conducting business. Avoid the appearance of secret meeting. This was a secret meeting. They didn't invite everybody. No one else knew. It wasn't publicly posted. They were making decisions about $2 million of ARPA funds. While board members can communicate outside of meetings for social information purposes, they should be mindful of avoiding the appearance of a secret meeting by discussing or making decisions about board business outside of official meetings. So in the context of Open Meetings Act, OMA, a round robin, and remember this, y'all, now we're going to play the video. A round robin refers to a series of prearranged informal meetings. This was prearranged, it's informal, or communications between a minority of public bodies members to discuss public business. circumventing the requirement for the Open Meetings Act. Such actions are generally considered a violation of the Open Meetings Act or the OMA. Okay, this is a smaller body. They're circumventing it by having a smaller meeting. They're discussing a topic that 2 million. They actually asked in the video to have everybody call us. So y'all listen for yourself.
Oh, we feel blessed for you all standing for us.
Good afternoon. It is a great day in the city of Flint, not because everything is perfect, but because we have a team of individuals that are working to give you the best government possible. I'm standing here today with our finance chair, Judy Priestley, with the council vice president, Candace Machat, and also with our third ward ambassador, Ms. LaShawn Johnson. We are here to talk about our water stabilization fund. But first, let me go to ARPA. Our city received ARPA funding. This American Rescue Plan Act gave this community dollars to plug holes where communities need fixing. And so what we did with that money was we made it a point to roll the money over to the general fund so we would not lose those valuable dollars. If we would not have made that decision, we would have lost millions. So by us doing that, we were able to put together a water stabilization fund. And the water stabilization fund is backed by $2 million reallocation of ARPA Rescue Plan Act dollars, and is a critical step in protecting Flint families from escalating water rates imposed by the Great Lakes Water Authority, which is GLEWA. And why this matters? The GLEWA has announced a 5.9% water rate increase for the upcoming fiscal year, continuing a pattern of rising costs. While the city of Flint has worked diligently to stabilize water rates since 2015, the 30-year contract with GLEWA, approved in 2017, has limited the city's flexibility and have left residents vulnerable from these increases. So what does this mean? This means that passing the water rate stabilization fund will prevent direct increases in residents' water bills. It also means that the economic impact on Flint families, especially those already facing financial hardship, will be impacted. We have a responsibility to act now to prevent unnecessary financial burdens to residents. Proactive financial planning right now can help maintain long-term affordability of essential water services. Council members must put aside politics and approve this critical measure. Flint residents must make your voices heard. We are encouraging you to reach out to your respective council member, because it is our job to provide good government, to provide good ordinances, and to maintain a watchful eye on the budget. And this is exactly what this body is going to do. So now I would like to bring to the lectern Judy Priestley.
Hi. In regards to this water stabilization fund, when the increase was first announced, I said we have no choice but to increase the cost to the residents. The administration, along with council members, developed this stabilization fund so that we didn't have to do that. So I'm walking back that statement. Before that, absolutely, we would have had to do everybody's water rates, everybody's. There are people who are struggling to pay. There are people with thousands of dollars of unpaid water bills. Of course, we need them to pay their bills because that affects everyone as well. But this solves that immediate problem of increasing the rates. This gives us breathing room to try to restructure our water rate system so that we can hopefully minimize any impacts in the future to our residents. Thank you. Ms. Candace Machat.
Thank you. So let's just make this very plain. We have a 30-year deal with GLEWA going right now. We are nowhere near 30 years, yet we are already at 5.9%. and we are looking at having to pass those costs on to residents. What it takes now is us being proactive. The city of Flint has been reactive since 2015. We are 10, 11 years into being reactive, right? What you have standing before you today are proactive people. What we have in office in Mayor Neely is a proactive mayor. This is our opportunity as a council, because my colleagues have all made the statement. None of us want to pass along costs to residents. We actually all want to figure out how we can lower water costs. And so now this is the opportunity for us to stand on our word and to be proactive and make sure that that 5.9% increase does not get passed on to residents. So I am calling on my colleagues today. If we can't stand on anything else, we can stand on the fact that it is time to be proactive. 15 years since 2015 is far too long to have been reactive. This is your opportunity. If we say we do not want to pass on these costs, then once this comes before us in special affairs on Monday, we need to get this passed, and we can pass it that day, get it passed right on to council, and get it passed and make sure that the residents do not feel the burden of this 30-year deal. Thank you.
In short, we need to make this happen. This isn't political. This is for the residents of the city of Flint. And our residents are our most precious, prized possession. And we don't want to go into their pockets anymore. We have, with the high rising cost of food, with the rising cost of everything, we will not, and we are committed that we will not add rising water rates to their added costs. So with that being said, we are open for questions.
Zane?
So you're using ARPA dollars to offset the cost, correct?
Mhm.
Once that funding,
We can cut it.
eventually runs out.
Okay.
in the meantime, looking for, like,
Okay. Some of the things they said, we have a proactive mayor. So this will be, as you hear them say, it is correct, a patch, a temporary fix. So that's not being, and he, I believe, sits on that board, the Gleeville board. So proactive, no. None of her colleagues wants to pass this along. We ain't had this conversation. It did not go through committee. It did not. So it's, any little goofy rules, it didn't go through committee. They bring it straight to special affairs to council because they want to get it passed. It's going to be election season coming up. That we didn't want to pass the 5%. Candace, first of all, we don't talk to you like that. When did we have a civil? Because you've been on here just lying since you got on here. You insult your colleagues, calling them snakes and what you gonna do, and calling me a hood rat, and was it delirious or dangerous Tanya, and called me a liar, and it hasn't had, so when me and her gonna have civil conversations when she don't even know how to talk to people? She has a filthy little mouth when she talks. When did we have this? And call and encourage. Y'all having a round robin. You have 3 council members there, 1 who wants to be, and LaShawn used to be running for the border because the community has got problems with all 3 of them. Cash Kitchen Judy, $75,000 Liddell Lewis, and Candace voted in committee to give a nonprofit she's affiliated with, something Aqua, whatever, $300,000. I'm just saying, LaShawn, run for the border. I wouldn't be up there with them. That's not, you're tying yourself to a group of women that we have a problem. So all 3 of them, we ain't had these conversations. The ordinance, the resolution hasn't even come to council. They're talking about bringing one. It'll be on Monday. We're going to vote for it. We got a proactive mayor. It's going to be in special affairs. Who chairs special affairs? Candace. They've already made these decisions, and it's on video. It's not political. Oh, it's political. Very political. Especially since the mayor said he passed the balanced budget. Now he got to plug it or patch it with $2 million from the ARPA. Now, here it is. They think they got everything that they did right because they always just give themselves, they glorify themselves. If you did it right, you would have planned for this and would not have to have with your other 4 colleagues to come to them to help you in your mess. That's not political, that you're doing a whole press conference in front of everybody like we don't see what's going on. Stop the garbage. Y'all got a whole great big problem. And then you want to come to other council members and go to the press to force us to help y'all. I ain't thinking about you. Because this needs to be done in an open meeting where we discuss it. There should be an open meeting to discuss the issue. Putting in them ARPA funds to balance, putting there about the water fund. These just one about serious issues that are affecting our community that we will have to use ARPA. They're making all the decisions for everything. They shouldn't be making decisions for really pretty much nobody. They don't respect the residents, all three of them. They put them out, they talk to them crazy. And those three women pick on, not LaShawn ain't on the council yet, they pick on RL week after week after week after week, every meeting. RL, that's gonna be your warning. RL. It pisses me off. It pisses me off. So here it is, they're having a round robin about $2 million. $2 million. And said, call your council member. They've discussed it. This is this is their action plan. This was a way of circumventing the Open Meetings Act. I'm calling the one who got us out of jail with the Booth Media versus the Wyoming Flint City Council, because we'd still be over there in Judge Kelly's court if it was not for Attorney Terry Johnson and Attorney Lambert. We would still be there. Yes, Producer Jay.
Check your messages.
Was it inbox or?
Yeah, inbox. You're muted, Burns.
Okay. Sorry, y'all. Just be patient with me for just a second.
No, can you hear me? You're muted again.
Okay.
No, I just need 3 or 4 minutes. That's all I was saying. Just keep talking. If you call me, I'm going to be here for a second.
All right. So, sorry, y'all. So, in this illegal round robin, where they came up with a $2 million brainstorm, and they done brought the third ward ambassador, which is, by the way, illegal. They said they had 3. And if we go back to multi-member body, anything what is considered to be a multi-member body, we got 3. It was supposed to come to resolution. What is a multi-member body? It says multi-member body means any board, commission, ad hoc committee, advisory committee, or any group, however designated, composed of more than one person. They were supposed to have 3, they got 2, and acting or perpetuating to act in an exercise of official duty. LaShawn Johnson, this is official duty. You showed up at every single one, every single meeting. The city acting and perpetuating to act in the exercise of official duty. The city council is not a multi-member body. This ambassador stuff, multi-member body. This is it's more than one person. She's doing official city business. Her and Linda Booth had a whole little meeting yesterday at 9 to 12 and 5 to 8. This is a multi-member body. This is another violation of the Flint City Charter. It's a violation. Any of these have to come before the city council for approval. This did not happen. There's more than one person, and they're acting in official capacity. She's doing press conference. She's up here with these folks, with a $2 million, let's put the pressure on, and let's not follow the rules. We're not going to take this through committee to discuss it. We're going to slam it in their face. We're going to make the public go after them that they can do something. We're going to browbeat them down with this. No, y'all don't work with me. Not thinking about y'all. Y'all created this mess. You created it. You don't vote on things that help the community. St. Mark's feeds the community. Then Judy brings up hers and then says, why they do it because I wouldn't vote on St. Mark. We're saying no. Bring all three, genius. Bring all three. Everybody can't be like you, Judy Priestley, and pay cash for a kitchen. Okay? It just can't. Everybody can't be like Liddell and have a nonprofit and pay your own nonprofit and get paid for the job that you're doing and donate and hitting up philanthropic donors when you need something. Yeah, you do. Your folks been talking. And so when we look at these things, this is wrong. You got these 4 people who claim that they want to be in leadership position, and they're doing a round robin. They are circumventing the Open Meetings Act to have a meeting, which they're making a decision, a $2 million decision, $2 million. And so as they do this, they don't care. It's all about them. It's all about them. Berta, baby. I'm just saying, you cannot. So when we look at what it is that they're doing, this is a violation of the Open Meeting. And you can report open violations of the Open Meetings Act. The date was yesterday. You can report it to the Attorney General. They thought this was a good idea. It is on video. So things that should be in a special meeting, we need to talk about the council rules. We need to also have something done about, are they bringing back them parking meters? We need to have something. What is the quality of our water? Where are we at with the infrastructure projects? Because they're breaking ground. It's coming spring. What is our, how many service lines have been replaced? How many need to be replaced? The administrative consider. These are things we have one meeting to handle business. And that's just what we need to do, to handle the business. And so not handling the business like that is a problem. So this, you cannot pretend it didn't happen. And the water race. I think the only 2 people was there to speak about water rate. I know Miss Claire McClinton was there, and it was one other person. She has always been consistent. She's always been consistent with supporting the community home repair. She asked for $16 million and didn't get it. But I think I put on 5, then we've asked for, they shot it down. But look, y'all cutting up in that chat now, okay? Can y'all bring that down, please?
That chat is off the chain.
The chat is off the chain. So can y'all be nice and nicer? We can agree or disagree, because y'all know they're gonna be trying to blame y'all chat conversation on me. So, and I can't even follow the chat because it goes too fast, and it's going so fast. I mean, it's rolling. It is rolling. So, so this meeting is a problem. And LaShawn Johnson needs to be careful, because these ladies have got her caught up in some stuff, and she's not elected. So when she wants to, there was the issue, people wanted to talk about certain things. They made a big deal about the sign, and she doing a whole violation of the Open Meetings Act. I mean, this stuff is just crazy. It's crazy. So we're gonna move on. But you can file a complaint because this is circumventing the Open Meetings Act. It is definitely circumventing the Open Meetings Act without a doubt. And so on to the next thing. We did the rules. I want to put up, I think I sent you some of the clips, and you can just scroll through those. I will continue to ask for a comprehensive public safety plan. I've been asking. I'm not going to change that. We have had so many people get shot. Last night, they said it was, I don't know if it was, that one was in my ward. And that's a pretty big size bullet. And it was on that one, it was two different size bullets. That's through the windshield. And guess what? There were two people in the vehicle. And this one had 7 shots in it. And this was on 6th Ward, Mott Park. And thankfully, nobody was hurt. They did do damage to 2 homes, and then this vehicle, which they had just pulled up in the driveway, they wasn't there but a few minutes, was pulling in, and they did a drive-by. They did a drive-by. Last night there was at Hurley Hospital. I don't know if the reports are exactly accurate, but someone pulled up, I believe, with a gunshot wound, and they taped it off. People were saying, "Oh no, someone's been shot at Hurley." It was actually what I was told was when you bring someone in for a gunshot wound, what they do is caution off, or police tape that off, because the car has to be processed. So when you have these, the car has to be processed to make sure they get in the bullet casings, investigating the trajectory of the bullets and everything that's in it. And so the Hurley was blocked off, but then there was another one on another street at the same time. You had, was it McClellan? Last night was, busy. Listen, talk to your nieces and nephews. Talk to them, because you can save a life. What I've been asking for Chief Green, look, this was last night. There was just a shooting outside the hospital. It's now roped off. There were some people arguing, then shots fired. So I think that one was not completely 100%, but I'm going to wait for the report. We'll follow back up on it. Keeping the community informed does a good job, but they don't get all the accounts. I only like to give information that really, if I really know it, if I have to go back to, and I'll follow back up with that. But we had, was it? I forget the street. There was another one that was on last night. We start, and I think I sent them to you as a cluster. March 11th, juvenile female shot and killed at Flint apartment complex. MSP teen, that's a 17-year-old that the family is taking them to court, who was shot. Then you have got in Flint, gunfire killing kids at a devastating rate. It absolutely is. We had over 10 children shot last year. 2 males shot on Flint's north side Thursday evening. So we have got a lot of shootings. Producer Jay, can you filter through just that? I think it's like a cluster, and then just slide show them. Names of teenagers killed in the Flint area. Those are the Banbury Street ones. I mean, we have got, and we can, if you can just keep filtering through them, please. MSP teen shot. The MS trooper involved in the shooting, he was cleared in that. Juvenile female shot, killed at Flint a complex. And so when we look at all these shootings, we have a gun violence problem. You can keep shooting through those, please. Listen, down at the bottom of the scroll, tip the DJ. Tip Producer J. All donations, Cash App, $ Producer J 1987. Producer J, $ Cash App. Producer J 1987. So some of the things that should be included, and I have said, we need a comprehensive public safety plan. So what are some of the things that are in a comprehensive public safety plan. A comprehensive public safety plan encompasses strategies for preventing and responding to emergencies, addressing crime, and ensuring the safety and the security of the community, including physical safety, mental health support, and community empowerment. Here's a breakdown what is typically found in the comprehensive public safety plan. 1, core elements, risk assessments, identifying the potential threats and vulnerabilities within the community, including natural disasters, crime patterns, and other hazards. Prevention strategy, implementing measures to reduce likelihood of incidents such as crime prevention program, community outreach. We need to have a gang task force. Majority of these shootings are acquaintance shootings, which means they know the person and they're shooting at each other, and it's retaliatory. And most of them, they're young people. So we need to change this. We need to change this. And it's a problem. We need to have specific areas to focus on: law enforcement, strategies for preventing, responding to criminal activity, including patrol tactics, investigation, and community policing. We need to have a comprehensive public safety plan because our children are dying at an alarming rate. And there's no way in this city that Black children should be dying at a rate that they are with gun violence, with a Black mayor, Black police chief. It should not be happening. Should not be happening at all. Bring back old school police back like Harlem Green. You had some of them out there didn't play. Enix Wright was one. Enix didn't play. Crosland. I remember Crosland. If y'all know Levester Crosland retired. He's now deceased. May he rest in heaven. Levester Crosland was a piece of work. I ain't gonna lie. I remember coming back from the airport and Crosland was talking mess. He was friends with my husband. And Crosland would call my house and just talk crazy. And until literally I had to cuss him out. And when I cussed out Crosland, we was best of friends after that. But he would call my house just talking crazy. You know, and I'm like, you need to get your friend because I'm gonna get him. Oh, you do what you got to do, you know. I told him up. After that, me and Crosland was best friends. And I will say that Levester Crosland, I miss. We do have some Black police officers who were really stand up in this community. Just stand up. One of the jokes, I remember they said Crosland shot somebody from stealing out of Hammerly Brothers because he would do off duty too. But you know, he had respect for the community and for the people, where he gave a lot of them a chance that some didn't deserve, but he did that. I like Barksdale too. Now I do Barksdale. Barksdale is look, if you want protection, Barksdale. I'm just saying, Barksdale is about that. So what I'm saying is, at this point, we need a comprehensive public safety plan. Our children should not be dying at an alarming rate where they're getting shot in their beds, being fatally shot in their beds, fatally shot in their homes, where drive-bys are the norm. It should never be when a mom who's had a drive-by is so desperate that she goes to the mayor's house and the state rep's house and they call me and tell me how did I give her the number. I told her, no, let me call the mom. And I called her Tammy. I did an interview with Tammy on here. And Tammy said, no, ma'am, I Googled you. I Googled you. And there's no way anybody should feel so desperate that I'm scared to have my kids in my house because they're going to get shot. I have a problem. I don't believe. And I think this is something we can handle. I think this is something that can be handled. And the part that nothing is being done is crazy. You know, we got a gang task force and these kids don't care. They don't care who in the house. They don't care that your granny or your nana is in there. They don't care that your cousin TT in there or a baby baby Shay is in there, or baby G's. They don't care. If you in that house, you subject to die. Their loyalty is to them streets and to them gangs. And they be like, well, you know how them kids, so I'm gonna be, no, I don't, no. Because in my family, we will snatch you up, okay? Snatch you up. And that's the thing. And not just one time, every single time. And some of these parents face, drug issues. They face all kind of issues. I was telling someone about the story. There was a mom, a young lady, and she did a video. And people were sending me the video. And so she had an altercation with her. She had a altercation with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend had pistol whipped her. She was a young mom. I seen the video. I reached out to her. I don't know how I ended up getting her number and speaking to her. And her and I had a very long conversation. Then I met her, and I told her, I said, you got to file a police report. He's going to kill you. This was this past fall. So this is not like this stuff is a long time ago. So I met her at the Burton Police Department, and I stayed with her the whole time. And we talk about the trauma in the families. It is the trauma. So when I met her, you could see the gun where he had hit her in the face. The gun had left the imprint on her face. And so I stayed with her because often with women and Black women of domestic violence is that we know that it is a problem, that they don't look as our pain as being, what they'll ask you, well, what did you do to make him hit you? Well, what did you do that he hit you? What was his reason? And instead of getting behind this, behind women, especially women of color, our pain is viewed differently. So the officers, I spoke to them. One of them happened to be a former Flint police officer and follows me on social media and listened to her story. So I asked her, I said, so tell me about you. When was the first time that someone hit you or you were abused? She said, I was 5 years old the first time that I was touched and molested by someone. So her value and her self-esteem. I said, how old was your mother when she had you? She said, my mother was 14. I said, your mother still living? She says, no, she passed away. I said, how many kids does your mother have? She had 9. Was your mother sexually abused? Yes. My mother was sexually abused, she stated, by several members of the family. So what are we looking at? A pattern. So she saw her mother getting beat by men. Her mother used drugs to silence and soft her pain. When we have people messing with these young, and it's boys and girls now, messing with them, then it is a problem. Then it is a problem. When the officer, he said, where he lived, he said, oh, okay, you go in the second to the left. They knew who he was. He had shot at her the day before in their house in front of their children. As she was begging him, he pistol whipped her, he beat her, and he dragged her in front of the children. So when you make those type of reports, one, you got to be courageous to do it. But when you make these reports, it is the responsibility of the police to make sure they do the due diligence. And the Burton police, they did. They did. Because then it's out of the state of the person who's been victimized, because often their abuser will tell them, well, I don't do it. I won't do it again. I promise. I love you. Let me do this for you. I'm going to show you and I'm going to prove you that I'm not going to do it again. The abuser becomes the person who's not going to protect you, and it creates a vicious cycle. And let me say this, abuse doesn't just come with physical abuse. It also comes as verbal abuse. It's verbal abuse and physical abuse. And this young lady had it all, and then her mother had it. And so when we look at what these people go through before we judge them, we got to ask, what is their story? Have to ask, what is their story? So her story, she's getting the help that she needs, but in an unconventional way that it took through social media to her getting a pistol whip, and then he shot at her. And this was normal. And that wasn't the first time. He shot at her and her friends in the car. He shot at them in the car. That one was in Flint. Nothing was done. You know, when the police said, what did you do to him? What do you mean? No. Wrong answers. So we need to better equip our officers in our community, that we need to be sending out. We need to be sending out a social worker along with the medic, and get these families, these people, the services that they need. There are certain families that people knew the police department that, you know, come Friday, the family was going to party and fight. That's what it was. But we got to, now that we know better, we do better. If you see someone and they're your neighbor, have the opportunity to talk to them or reach out. If you need to be connected with services, I can help connect them with services. It's not normal to be beat. It's not. It's not normal to have someone touch you. And what we do know is sexual predators know who to prey upon. Sexual predators know who to prey upon. It's something that's in their little mind that they know. I'm not going to get that one. I'm going to get that one right there. Yeah. They know how to prey upon them. And it's not just our girls. It's our boys too. It's also our boys. So we didn't got off onto this, Producer Jay. That was not in my run to show y'all. I just want y'all to know that. So in the public safety plan, these are part of the things that we need to deal with. And we've been asking since 2019. I was not even elected. And was it 19? When did they get the helicopter, y'all? It was before the helicopter. Actually, when I worked with, you can see there was going to be an uptick and the gangs were kicking off. And you can see, and they just continued to grow. We lack intel on the streets. And I think that we have to do better. You know, all the gunfire that you hear from last night, just terrible. And it's not just last night. I mean, they said they act like they're passing out bullets at the corner stores. So we have to have a public safety plan. And I'm going to keep talking about it. And we also need to talk about, in this public safety plan, we need mental health support, because we know mental health is a big problem, where people will become and go, they'll get off their meds and they end up in the county jail. Why? Because they're off their meds. They begin to do so well that they think, okay, I don't need no medication. I'm good. And then it just starts. They get well and they think they're gonna self-medicate. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So anyways, I wanted to talk about, and I know we got March Madness is on too, y'all. I 100% get that. But I'm gonna keep asking for a public safety plan. I'm gonna keep asking, because every day is a shot. And I got a shot Sunday, not a shot. I got a call Sunday morning, and a very dear friend, her daughter's car was shot, and that was the bullet holes. And I don't think she's processed it yet. I'm not gonna put her name out there because everybody know her, you know. But when it brings it to it's real. And I had I'm trying to learn how to no, AK, we didn't talk about Paul getting smacked. No, but you put that video up, AK. So when she got it that her daughter had been shot, it's not something that was easy for her, because when she's looking at the car, and she called me, and then she's walking around the car, and she just, You become overwhelmed when you see how the bullets went in, and through the window and up, and that it could have been a very different situation with her daughter being okay. And it wasn't what her daughter did. It was a gang retaliation. It was. And not for her daughter, but they shot up 2 houses next door to each other because they can't shoot. They shouldn't be shooting, but they're just shooting wildly. So be careful. First time to your gunshot, call 911, please. Call 911. So I do want to say that. So we need a comprehensive public safety man with a focus on gang task force and mental health. We have mental health millage with the county, which I don't know what the county is doing with this mental health. I do not, but we need it. So Producer J, throw up, look, if y'all can donate to $, Cash App, $ Producer J 1987. As I go through and look for my next run of show, my next part. So, the town hall meeting. Town hall meeting. Oh, is it April? Oh, it's Wednesday, April 14th. Oh, I thought it was April 2nd. So it is Wednesday, April 14th. Jedediah Brown will be here. I think AK did it. So he will be here. Why? I can't see it. You have to blow it up. I can't see it. So if y'all can't see that, Jedediah Brown will be here at the Club Quorum. The time I can't see that little writing. Can you read it, Producer Jay?
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me get it back on the screen.
Okay, because it's too small for me to read.
All right, so it just says, join us for an important town hall meeting Wednesday, April 14th at Club something, 3 p.m. till 5.
Club Quorum. Club Quorum, right next to Burston Fieldhouse on Saginaw Street.
Okay, and it is because your voice matters, and then it says why 10. It says where's the money from the Flint water settlement, restore community power, open dialogue, shape our future.
Okay, so and what time is it?
3 p.m. to 5 p.m. on April the 14th.
So April the 14th, 3 to 5 p.m., there will be a town hall meeting. Come one, come all, so that everybody is welcome. Jedediah Brown will be hosting a town hall meeting. I don't know exactly how the program or format. I don't know, but April 14th, Jedediah. Now he did a whole video. That was when I was, coming out of Walmart. So his whole video was speaking to Flint. Can we play the video, please? Now, if y'all don't know who Jedediah Brown is, he's an activist. He's been very active with Tiffany Henyard, helping to get her exposed. She's now, she ain't being reelected. She lost the election. And so she is if she finishes out, I think she will be what they call a lame duck. And so,
which video are you talking about?
The one, did I send it to you? He did the rap, I guess.
So the one you texted me last night.
Yeah.
All right, if you give me a second, let me try to upload it.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And so he did some, he kind of in your face. Now you might want to remember the day Doug was just calling people all out their names, and Jedediah went and sat next to him. Let's have a talk, bro. And so you can see them walking across, the council chambers. Like, you got to be careful what you say, Doug. You cannot come and be offensive to people. And this is where we getting so comfortable with talking to people crazy. So as he's uploading that, I'm briefly talk about. So we had the video where Paul Herring, who was a videographer over the city services, Paul had Paul and Miss Elizabeth Taylor, who's 80-something. Paul, she had went to show him her shirt. Paul ended up calling her a dumb bitch. He did it. That wasn't the first time he's talked to women in a nasty way. It's not at all. So then Shax and I think Billy were on the elevator, and he went to calling her a dumb bee, you stupid dumb bee. You can't be doing that. So Billy was not going to let him do it. And she became upset because he was in a threatening way and in her space in the elevator. This is according to the court records. And so she, they had a little altercation. She has since then went to court. She is paid. She's finished required what the court had required her to do. She has finished it and she is done with it. And so she did what she needed to do, but you cannot just call women bees. You don't do that. And stupid bee and dumb bee, and we know it because we got them on the voice tape. Now everybody's looking at that one video, but what they aren't showing you is what happened at the elevator. They have clipped the video. They have clipped the video to show the part where, like, Paul is getting out. Show the whole video. That's what you're supposed to do. That is what he needs to do. Show the whole video. And when you come at women and you're disrespectful and you're in their face and it wasn't necessary. I mean, come on now. I mean, what gives you the right to think? Because somebody else, some people's sons would not be having that. Not even sons. Billy defended herself. He was threatening. He was saying threatening, defensive or offensive words to her. Whatever the judge, she finished what she was supposed to do, her requirement from the court, and she is done. She's done. She did what was required. So, Producer Jay, he must still be uploading that, y'all. JPEGs, I knew it was more than that. Okay. This is Jedediah Brown, y'all. He's gonna be here April 14th. So this is Jedediah Brown. They sent this to me. I was in the parking lot of Walmart. And I want to send a shout out to Pastor Jannard Lakes of Spirit of Victory Church off of Pearson Road. When you see him, he will always just hug you. Next thing I knew, I'm trying to load up my car. He come running behind me and gave me a big hug, and I needed that hug. So shout out to Pastor Jannard Lakes, a Spirit of Victory Church. So let's get the video going, because look, Jedediah is coming to town and he gonna get down. Jedediah Brown. So we ready, Producer Jay?
We callin' point of order. Council President Liddell, we not your sons or daughters. So who you talking to? And you demand respect. You get what you give, you ain't earned respect yet. How you want bully-free zones, but you the biggest bully. That man tried to speak, you told him sit down, really? Ain't you the same one who wanted listening sessions to hear the residents' concerns, grievances, suggestions? And now you in position, banging that gavel loud, not hearing what we saying, you a mess, shut it down. And focus. We ain't playing, the residents demand respect. Hear what we saying, Flint is our focus. So let's start this movement, we coming together. My people, let's do it, we're focused. And we ain't playing, INA has joined the move, demanding changes. Flint is our focus, we're joining this movement. We coming together, my people, let's do it.
You're out of order, you all are out of order. Everybody sit down, that's your warning.
Liddell, your counsel is rejected. We ain't liking what we see. Your conduct, your actions, all that mess, we don't agree. Try to act like you a queen, all grand and regal. Get better at your job, do what's best for the people. Hey yo, point of information. Hey yo, I need some information. You hear me? Alright, let's get back to it. Get back to it.
To the other members, Candace, Leon, and Judy, we got a question for you about how you handling duties. What's up with the money from ARPA? The residents still waiting cause they ain't been paid. Out of 95 million, y'all can't agree on how to allocate to residents some COVID relief. Holding up compensation, but the charity got paid. Cities bruised, council moving in some trifling ways. Flint focus, and we ain't playing. The residents demand respect. Hear what we saying. Flint is our our focus, so let's start this movement. We coming together, my people, let's do it with focus. And we ain't playing, I&A has joined the move, demanding changes. Flint is our focus, we're joining this movement. We coming together, my people, let's do it.
Yeah, y'all need to do better. Council, do better. Do right by the people, or get voted out by the people.
Flint focus, and we ain't playing. The residents demand respect. Hear what we saying. Flint is our focus, so let's start this movement. We coming together, my people. Let's do it with focus. And we ain't playing. I&A has joined the move, demanding changes. Flint is our focus. We're joining this movement. We coming together, my people. Let's do it.
Y'all need to do better. Council, do better. Do right by the people, or get voted out by the people.
Flint focus, and we ain't playing. The residents demand respect. Hear what we saying. Flint is our focus, so let's start this movement. We coming together, my people. Let's do it with focus. And we ain't playing. I&A has joined the move, demanding changes. Flint is our focus. We're joining this movement. We coming together, my people. Let's do it.
Okay. I mean, look, put in the chat what y'all think about the video. I was really amazed, and I thought it was good. And I think that I think we need a change. I mean, I do. So April 14th, that is when the town hall will be, and it's at Club Quorum. And so I'm going to talk about, so Jedediah will be here then. He will be here. Oh, the people said, Martin, that's dope. That's up jamming. Okay. The song is banging. Okay, it's great, Tanya. Hey, Luna. AK, I think it was nice. It would be good to see the movement that started in Dalton move to Flint. AK, absolutely. Oh, that part. To see that movement here, absolutely. 100%. To see that where people are emboldened and find their voices and their power. I mean, I think it needs to be done because the residents are not being heard. Absolutely. I don't know how you get all the local activists to work with him, but sometimes I don't know. But I think having a town hall, that's a good way to start to address the needs. I think we do need to come together, but the thing is, moving this, Thornton and Dalton did their thing. Them residents stood up. They didn't get, people came from Chicago, which it was outside the suburbs, but if you driving in traffic, whatever, y'all know that traffic ain't no joke. But I don't know. I think that we need to I think it would be good to have people to come together. I think he said, was it 14th, the producer Jay, or April 16th? April 14th. At, was it 5 o'clock? No, that says 3 p.m. till 3 to 5.
5 p.m.
Yeah, April 14th, 3 to 5 at Club Quorum. And I will put it up on my page when I get a copy of it. I will put it up. So, we know he had problems with Doug. We know that Candace defends Doug. Can we put up the part? There is the one where Doug states I wasn't black, that I'm not black. And then he talks about everybody else. But Doug, I'm getting ready to give you a little information. It's the one where he states, he called, and then put up the satire of the snake thing that he just loves, and when you're saying that about black people, So in it, and we've talked about this before. And so where Doug says, hey, Snakebite, fermenting racial hatred again, just another day at the office for you. By the way, your avatar is pumpkin colored, not black. Okay, now this is what Doug Matthews and what he has said about me. He also wrote a story, and we can put that part up, and he calls it a satire because he has the white savior complex. Now, this is who Candace defends, and they just love Doug. And so it says a satirical tale of the Old West. The old creak of well-worn leather cowboy boots resonated through the desolate Flint Creek. Texas's Marshall Doogie Due Process, a reputed champion of the downtrodden, rode in on his trusty steed. His silver spurs sang a tune of spreading justice with every step, announcing to all an honest and ethical lawman had come to restore order to town, long suffocated underneath the grip of sly snake Bernsey and her gang. So when women and other Black people call me Snakebite, not cool, because it's some things you just don't do. You just don't do. You know, when you align yourself with this, come on, Candace. You align, and Liddell, come on. Y'all align yourself with him by commenting on stuff that he has said. Come on. So then it says, in the shadows of Snakebite, and the silver and fork-tongued villain was executing her latest scheme. How sly was Snakebite Bernsey? So sly, she and her gang spun a web of deceit, promising free money to the town folks for home repairs, and scam designed to discredit the mayor and divert attention from their own sinister plot to seize power. Her saloon, the Rattlesnake's Den, served as the perfect front for her. Okay, so look, this guy is delusional. Anybody using him needs to seek mental help. If they're defending him or using his rhetoric, it's wrong. Shame on yourself. You should know better. So he refers to all the time as Black people. He has went off on, first he started with Mays. Then he has had, it has been Mays. It has been me. It has been Beverly Biggs. It has been, oh God, who else? Who God? And it's been, Billy Dantzler, Carol McIntosh. You know, he goes off on women. So anybody reiterating his garbage is garbage too, because Doug is pure garbage. So he has a problem. As Candace defends him, you know, I'm gonna, you know, he's not a racist. Well, okay, well, he's talking about Black people. He's comfortable using microaggressions. She went in front of the ethics board to defend him in this garbage. So as Black people, which I'm going to share something very personal. So when he speaks to a person's skin, as in reptile, I have, because it is genetic, can you put up the part with the keloid? So every 3 weeks, I have to do shots of steroids. Not a fun thing to do, because right now my face hurts. So if you can put up, because people may not know what a keloid actually is. There should be one with the picture on it too. If you can put the one with the picture up, because if you can put that one up, it's the first one, please. I got to find it on mine. Y'all know this week be busy. So listen, while I'm searching for it, so I can read from it. There, that's the one, which gives look, tip the producer, please, because we covering a lot. We didn't come on last weekend because one, I was having problems in this. There was a lot going on, and I've had problems with the keloid. And so what is the keloid? So mine is genetic. It runs in my family. And I have it underneath here. So I don't, you know, I can have a cosmetic removed, but it'll grow back. My thing is, I'm not that vain. I don't care. It is what it is. I'm 56 years old, and it's going to be there, and I own it. So when Doug speaks to my skin and my skin color, it is a racist remark. Genetically, so a keloid is a raised scar after an injury has healed. Mine wasn't, it just popped up, y'all. A keloid is caused by an excess protein that is in the skin during healing. So my skin overheals. It won't stop. It's kind of like my my podcast. They don't stop. Keloids aren't harmful, and many don't need treatment. I do, because mine hurt really bad, and I get shots. Now, I quit counting. I think I got yesterday 22 of them, because I hadn't been in a minute, because I needed to take a break. And so if you don't, then you have problems. Then you have problems with it. And so I had not been, and I paid for it. I legitimately paid for it. So I want to go into where, and I had it. So keloids is genetic, and some of the women, everyone doesn't get it. It runs in my family. So when he's making comments about my skin and snake bite, it is clearly a medical condition that he feels no problem talking about. And he's an asshole. He is. He's an asshole. And so Dennis called him the biggest clown, but he's an asshole, because it would be, if I took what I know there are things that is wrong with him, if I exploited those things and talked about him. Some people say, oh, you be like him. I have kept it private. Well, it ain't private, because people know. Get Producer Jay.
Like that shaking.
He does do that. And I have not, and I have kept that quiet. Yes. And so causes of keloids. The cause of keloids is unknown, but it is believed to be related to an overactive wound healing process. Factors may include a risk of developing keloids include skin trauma, genetics, family history, and certain medical conditions. Mine is genetic. I have it, I got it, and it just is what it is. I'm not that vain. I will go out my house without makeup, you get what you get. I am a child of God. I love me some Tanya Burns. So when Doug steps up there and says something, he better hope I don't cuss his ass out, because that's where I'm at now. He feels he has free reign to talk to people any kind of way. And literally, with the amount of shots that I got yesterday, and there's some numbing cream on it, it hurts. And it hurts. And when he speaks to the color of my skin with something that is clearly a medical condition, he's an asshole. He's an asshole. And he feels so free to talk about Black women. And here you have him making the skin is the color of or the snake, and it's orange, and you're calling me a Black woman a reptile because of my skin color, and you don't even know what my skin does. He doesn't even know, as a Black woman, what my skin does. He doesn't know, because he's a very white man. And to talk about my skin when you don't know, and you got people who will step and fetch and tap dance for him, Candace Mushat. She should be ashamed. She should be ashamed that she put up with that. And Liddell too. The stuff that they do is just crazy. So as a Black woman, it is genetic. Most keloids are found in African-American or Black people. I have them. They're going to be there. Every 3 weeks, I got to go get shots. I don't like them. I don't like the numbing cream when I go. And so what I do is just meditate down into it. Usually the nurses put it in, because I have doctor's visit, and every so often I will see the doctor, because I'm on a regimen. And they'll say, and it's almost funny, because when they're doing the keloid, sometimes they'll pinch it, and then they take the needle in, and then they'll drag it out. And so there's 2 needles that I get. And so when they take it and they're inserting it, because my skin is that of a melanated woman, this is genetic, they're saying, they're like, oh my God, I hate doing this. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, once I meditate down, I take, because the pain don't last forever. It don't last forever. And I just deal with it. And then when I'm done, usually they'll take, sometimes it bleeds, sometimes it'll bleed just for a slow amount of time. So I may have like a bandage underneath my chin at times, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. It's a part of who I am. I am perfectly designed by God. I am perfectly designed by God, and I'm good with it. But when some white man comes to tell me and makes posts about my Black skin, I don't want to hear nothing about decorum, because he's brung his behind up there speaking, and other Black women allow him to talk about medical conditions. That's a problem. That's a problem. And they have a problem. They do. They have a problem. And so the Flint politics can and is the worst. And if every day I'm asked, why do you stay in it? I have been intentional on doing things like making sure I have 2 dads. I have 2 wonderful dads who love me. And I'm making sure, because I'm so busy. I'm intentional. So I went out with my dad, and he's 82. He'll be 83. That's both of them are the same age, actually. I have my life is not unique for me. It was not. I spent more time with my grandmothers. My biological dad had, there was a lot of 14 of them, 1 girl. And those are those uncles. And my other grandmother, I was the first granddaughter. And so I had the love of grandmothers, and my mother worked. Then my mother married. I was 1. And so I never called my stepdad. I called him daddy, because he was my daddy. He was always there. So when, I got married, it was, like, how do you choose? Hey, let's do both. But one of them didn't show up. So me and my dad had breakfast, and we were sitting at, I like to visit local, to do local. And so we went to Dom's, and I did not know the ladies in the booth were listening to me and him talk and go over stuff. And actually it was 2 ladies, one in the booth in front and one in the back, and who were listening, who were aware. You never know who's listening to you. And both of them commented. And one of those ladies, she was real jazzy, had on her little cowboy hat that was in brown and white, like a cow's skin, or what, I don't know what they call it. And they were listening. And one of them, the older lady, I didn't think they would be on Facebook, y'all. They on Facebook, and they watch. They watch, And so we never know who is listening. And so for me, I do things I live my life without regret. And I am intentional on spending my time now and who I give it to. And so I spend my time doing this because I want Flint. I see Flint as being such a better place. We just have to get the right leadership. This council has got to be fixed. This council is a problem. We've seen how Mayor Neely treated Councilman Mays. The only thing he used them for was a press conference. That was it. He put his portrait on the floor. The sign fell off. That was duct taped to the building. I mean, it couldn't have gotten any more trifling than it was to put that together like that. It was ghetto to do that. It was an embarrassment to have it up there. All he cared about was the news conference. Eric's name is not on there. His name is not on there. His last name wasn't even spelled correctly on a temporary sign. So when we speak to him, of course, this part out with Doug. Doug needs to be stopped talking about Black women and Black people. And he goes after them. They send him up there week after week. And in some places, Doug is very lucky. People are not going to be tolerant of that. He's disrespectful to Black women. He is. Carl Lewis said, I also had two great dads. Mama Mary, my stepdad, both worked in the Buick. Mine worked in Buick, both worked in Buick, Plant 80. And so I am, I am very intentional with my time now and to pull back. I got off the phone with my mom like 2:50, and my son called me at 2:52 a.m. last night, because I'm all with my kids. When I don't care what I'm doing, I've been all kind of means. So they call. I'm taking my kids, even before this. I'm taking my kids' calls, and so that's how I feel. So I'm gonna move past that part. So I do want to say this: the two Black teens that were, and producer Jay, the twins that were shot in Georgia, breaks my heart, along with the kids here, because racism is on the rise. White supremacy is going unchecked. Doge is doing whatever that they want to do. So there was an arrest in the shooting, but they don't know if they haven't released it yet, because one of the people who claims he found him took a picture and put it on social media of the two Black teens that they kept trying to tell the family it was a murder-suicide. And the family says, no, that's not true. We don't believe that. And so Dr. Ritchie did a thing on it. Now, generally, he's done some good pieces. Now, a couple pieces, Dr. Ritchie, I had to question you about now, because Liddell wasn't called no monkey. And she said she was, and that just was not true. And he never retracted that. But those two Black teens were shot in Georgia. And I think Quazier and Nadir Lewis. And so y'all keep an eye out for this. It's time that we start coming together as people. You have the percentage of billionaires, and those are all who are all in Trump's cabinet. Yes, producer Jack.
Did you send something on that? Because I can't find it if you did.
I did.
Okay, let me keep looking.
And maybe I can resend it. I did, because I don't, we have to speak up. I was at the Black leadership meeting, and we had some oh gosh, I forget her name. I'm gonna have to find her name. She spoke, and she was 87. We say the term Black don't crack. No, it don't crack, because she did not look 87. I'm just telling y'all. And then we had Miss Inez Brown. And so when the disrespect, when people continuously bring up what they think they know they think, and then to keep dragging people stop. Respect our elders. Respect our elders. So both these women who have went through a lot were talking in the meeting about having we got to get together, go to Washington. We cannot let Trump get away with what he's doing. The Department of Education. Yeah, that's the cute little. And let me see. Maybe let me look through my stuff for that.
I found for some reason that other thing popped back on the screen.
Oh, okay. Okay. Can we play that? How many minutes is that one?
It's like 121, I think.
Okay. All right.
I think that's what it said.
So this is about the teens, y'all. Let's do this.
This is a hell of a story out of Georgia. A man has been arrested in connection to the deaths of Black twin brothers. This story has a lot of twists and turns. It's going to make your blood boil. Put up the picture full mass. In Georgia, Quadir and Nazir Lewis, 19 years of age, were found dead just hours after they were expected to fly to Boston to visit friends on Saturday, March 8th. Their plane tickets were reportedly still in their respective wallets, found at the scene of the crime. Hikers discovered their bodies at the top of Bell Mountain. This is near North Georgia. It is the Georgia-North Carolina border, dozens of miles from where families say the brothers were living. Although police suspect the brothers died in a murder-suicide by gunshot wound, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation has confirmed the arrest of former Towns County volunteer firefighter Scott Curlin, 42 years of age, in connection to the case. It gets even more interesting. According to the reports, the firefighter was fired on March 14th after he allegedly violated department protocol. Towns County Commissioner Cliff Bradshaw told 11 Alive. Curlin has not been charged directly in the deaths of the brothers, but he was hit with misdemeanor obstruction for allegedly snapping photos of the twins' dead bodies and then leaking those photos to the public, according to the GBI. The GBI's medical examiner has not shared the complete autopsy reports to the public yet, according to a spokesperson. Additional forensic tests are still pending. The family, however, continues to dispute the murder-suicide ruling, saying the twins would never hurt each other. Their aunt, Yasmin Bronner, said, quote, "They wouldn't do anything like this. To say they did this to each other? No. Something happened in those mountains and we want answers," end quote. In the meantime, their family has set up a GoFundMe in support of organizing a memorial for both of them. Obviously, this is not something you planned for as a parent, Cordeer and Nazir. You can go to that GoFundMe and assist. There are a lot of dynamics to this story, and we've been following this story in the state of Georgia. So one thing that stuck out to many is that they were in an area that normally they would not have been, and no one has been able to give an explanation as to why they were in those mountains and why did they miss their flight. Absolutely no information. And then the ruling of this murder-suicide thing happened so quickly. Once again, there's no exhaustive investigation before the proclamation of murder-suicide. And thirdly, how many times have we reported on Indisputable a mother's intuition or family's intuition where they knew something was off? And because of their willingness to continue to push the reality of how they knew the person, that actual justice was served and the person or people accountable were held to account.
So we have to be aware. So some of the things, we get black women get, look, 92% of black women did not vote for Trump. How much did Elon Musk make off of contracts from the government? $38 billion. $38 billion Elon Musk made off of contracts with the federal government. He's now got this position as Doge or whatever. His person, what is it, Headspeth? We got to look at what he has done. Then you've got the person, oh God, what's his name? He made the comment. Oh yeah, how much does Elon Musk get from federal government? Musk has reported collected $38 billion in government funding over the years through contracts, loans, subsidies, and tax credits, according to a recent Washington Post analysis. $38 billion. Why would you be voting to put the billionaires? They ain't thinking about y'all. They not. And so you get people, and I watch some of these people and their pages, and I'm like, look, they don't like us. He is from South Africa. That's where there was apartheid until Nelson Mandela. And so they don't even think you couldn't swim at the beach. It was basically slavery over there. And that's within my lifetime when it ended with Nelson Mandela, mine. And so that was about, 30 years ago, maybe he got out. I'd have to look at the date when Nelson Mandela got out. And so that's where he's from. So you look at all these positions of power. You had the black, I forget the highest ranking officer. Lead that one up. Yes. Where he was removed from the military and placed with someone who wasn't qualified, because they want everyone in positions of authority to be that of a person with white skin. And that's what he's doing. So Trump's billionaire commerce secretary, only fraudsters will complain if they don't get their Social Security checks. Y'all, he did a whole interview and said this, that if his mother-in-law, who's 94, did not get her Social Security check, she would not call and complain. He stated this in a video. If his mother-in-law did not get her Social Security check, she would not call and complain. It is only the fraudsters who would complain if they miss getting a check from them for a month. It is only the fraudsters, the people like you, and you, that would complain, and he has called you fraudsters. Well, his mother-in-law has a son-in-law that's a billionaire. He's the Commerce Secretary, is a billionaire, not multi-millionaire, a billionaire. And said his mother-in-law wouldn't miss it. No, but he ain't got to, everybody ain't got you can't call up your billionaire son-in-law and say, I didn't get my Social Security check. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. And so we look at our Department of Education. What has happened to our Department of Education as they are gutting it? The CDC, they laid off, 186 people, almost 200 people, and then realized, okay, we got to call you back. And if you think it doesn't affect you, some of Ashley Capitol, that building number 2 of 10, is held up because of Trump. It's affecting Flint's local economy. It's affecting our local economy. That money is being held up because of Trump. You got to we're not warm all year, so you got to break ground once it thaws. There's certain things that you have to do. So when you sit up and say it doesn't affect you, yes, it does. Social Security, they could care less. Department of Education, that's a problem. Oh, let's talk about fair housing. That program, we talk about Trump throws out affordable housing. That was the title of the article. Get involved. Google, look at trustworthy sites for information, because what he's doing is making sure, because he wants to be a king, and we sit idly by, and that's crazy. When 80-something-year-old women in a meeting on Thursday got more spunk than some of these younger, I'm just gonna chill. You can't afford to just chill. Ain't no chill moments. They coming in talking crazy, you don't even have rights. They taking away your rights. DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. We have to fight and be stronger with that, and don't allow people to minimize it and water it down. It's for our veterans. He's been gutting the veterans, the VAs. He's doing this. Old bone spurs ain't never been in no war. These billionaires ain't been in war. That they professionals at dodging war, but they ain't been in no war. So a bone spur draft dodger telling everybody what they should be doing when he ain't never had a worry in his life. And his billionaire friends is who he's filling up his cabinet with. You had the one guy over, Eli Musk, over at, because he's Doge, over at trying to get your personal information. Yeah, it was yesterday. I mean, you got to get involved. And so the Democrats have got to get it together, protest. One thing with Trump and them, and my voice is, they do what they gonna do, and they don't care. They're like catchers. They don't care. They're gonna go hard in the paint, and they don't care. And so some of the things when they talk about, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Man, I got no boots. Listen, when you get and I'm going to play this video, How Can We Win? If y'all haven't seen that one. You cannot, and I'm going to let that one, the video play, and pay attention to when he play it. Producer Jay, did you get that one? They want you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. when you have had generations of being not treated fairly, not able to acquire wealth in this country, not able to acquire land in this country. And then they want you to say, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Sir, ma'am, I don't own boots. You're asking someone to do something that they cannot even do. They cannot even do. When you don't own boots, you can't pull yourself up by them. We know that they have went through Black communities with eminent domain, taken over our cities, and eminent domain for highways, for urban renewal. And what they did was displace Black people. Each of those projects displaced Black people. St. John's, displaced in Flint, displaced Black people. Detroit, displaced Black people. And we can go on and on and on, where we know that eminent domain displaced Black people because they were the least to resist. And here we got people who will just lie on you. It ain't helping. You got people voted for. How do you vote for against what your own needs are, your own family members? How do you vote against yourself? I'm not understanding. You got folks, where was they showed the one guy wearing a something ICE shirt and he's being hauled off by ICE. How do you vote for Trump? And he told you going to deport y'all, and you were one who got deported. You vote for the person for your who's deporting you. You vote and put that person in office. And so when we look at this, you can't waver on stuff. You got to make a point. Every diversity, equity, and inclusion may not be perfect, but how do you improve it? And I'm not going to change this because I think a lot of people don't understand what enough of it to really say, what do we do with this? What would happen to affirmative action? Well, affirmative action put a lot of people in positions that would never been. It didn't mean they were less qualified, but what it did was allow them to quit giving the nepotism, the friends, brothers, and in-laws the jobs. And so these are what, we talk about DI, how you should be able to be respected. And people need to stay out of people's bedrooms. Ain't nobody business what they're doing in their bedroom. That ain't their business. And some of these people, you would be surprised the double lives that they be leading. You would be surprised. So when people make comments about Flint, it bothers me. It bothers me a lot because a lot of times they don't understand exactly what is going on. I don't know, Producer Jay, if I...
No, you didn't send that one. I've looked through my inbox.
Okay, I'm going to send it to you now. And so when people, this was, this, and it doesn't change. This video, I think, was first 5 years ago. And it's still relevant today. It's still relevant. And it's going to be relevant because we cannot pull ourselves up by, it should be in your inbox. Because people need help. We know that Elon Musk, $38 billion in contracts. Then we look at and go through some of the facts. Who all has, who's got the money? It's showing the poor people. We can't even get, they buy off a couple people, by giving them trick-or-treat candy, trivial things. They get what they want. And what happens? You, the average Joe who believe in democracy, you get screwed. Stop voting for people that you don't see out here doing nothing. Stop voting for them if they ain't doing nothing. Because guess what's going to happen when they get in office? They ain't going to do nothing. They living well. They'll tell you, I don't need money. I'm good. And you're helping to keep them on the pedestal when you're struggling. Donald Trump is a billionaire, friends, had people who are on food stamps, SNAP benefits, and people who are struggling. Why would you listen to somebody who don't even understand the plight that you're in. They don't understand your predicament that you're in. When you don't ever hear them and they don't ever speak up. And if it's the president, he backtracks so quick and lie. I mean, he is the art of lying, but he couldn't even hold the Bible upright. He had it upside down. So are we ready, Producer Jay? And y'all hit that Cash App button, $ Cash App button, $ Producer J 1987. Whew. So I don't know if someone could put the link in there. I'm going to put it on my page. I first got that. My uncle sent me, who lives in North Carolina and half in New York, and he sent it to me. I cannot say how many times I watched it because it's true. You don't burn down what's yours. You have no equity. When people say we don't own anything, we don't own downtown. We're just now getting some Black businesses there, Black people who are there. And I support Black business. If the Black people don't own the property, you don't care because you don't even see ownership that you own anything or that you can. And then Black people, we fighting against each other with trivial things. Now it's just poverty, within City of Flint. We look at the rate of how many people are living in poverty. Our poverty rate is high. Our reading literacy rate is low. We have got very serious issues. So we do have that'll be coming downtown. And I just sent you a picture. I probably should have cropped it first, but I didn't, I guess. We will have a new Black business coming downtown Flint, and we have to support. It's not limited to Black people, but there is one that is coming. And so I do visit, his other establishments. And so I want to send shouts out to Dink Sosa, who will be opening up a business downtown on Saginaw Street. It is coming. He I don't know what he's going to name it. It was the Loft. He's doing renovations. And I believe it is set to open up in May or June. So this will be coming. I support him. When you don't own anything and you're seeking ownership, this is a building he closed on it a little over a month ago, maybe. And you don't own anything, you don't feel like it's not your community. When it's yours, you own something in it. You see people like you. You're invested. And so congratulations to Dink. He will be, when it's grand open, of course, I'm going to share it. But I think that we have to support. And when you listen to that, she talked about Monopoly. You played a game and you just constantly like you're going around and around. And that's just what it is. Blackout dates. We still have blackout days. We got a whole blackout list now that we use for cutting off the dollars, but sometimes that's just not strong enough. And so we have to make change. She talked about food insecurities. Flint has a water insecurity because you're scared to drink the water. We have a food and a water insecurity, and it's just true. And so it's a lot that's going on. And so I do want to say, hold on just a second. I got to mute y'all for just a moment. Okay, so I hope today I've shared something with you. Dink Sosa, Dink, and I'm gonna tell you how Dink is with me running. Dink didn't have when I had it was the campaign. Dink sent me private security. Sent me 2, then it was 4 more that he sent up there. I remember going into my park. I'm like, what are you doing in the driveway? As soon as I in the parking lot, soon as I put up, it was a forum. He was waiting in the parking lot to make sure I got to the building safe. Literally. I'm like, Dink, what is you doing? I'm waiting for you to get here, you know. And when he in this mode where he just, I mean, he a big shout out to you. I'd have been at the gas station. I'm like, Dink, why are you following me? I had to make sure, you know, you just can't be pumping gas out here like this. You can't just be doing this. Yeah. But he has had my back, and I'm gonna have his. And I go to all his clubs. I go to Vibes. I mean, I'm not a clubber, y'all know. I support his things. I'm not a clubber. I support Vibe. I do go to, I guess, Roadhouse. It's not really a club. That's kind of, I don't know. Anyways, great tacos there. Great drinks, you know. And then he's brought his family into the business. So shout out. He will be opening up a business downtown Flint. So congratulations to Dink Sosa, to Dink. You've earned it, my brother. I appreciate you. And I definitely salute you for keep going and pushing yourself towards excellence. So Producer Jay, put up the, you know, if we can donate. Do we want to do call in, Producer Jay? How you feeling? Take a couple calls. Look, if y'all can donate, Producer J, Cash App, $ Producer J 1987.
I got about 20 more minutes, but we can take some calls if you.
Okay, look, put the call to look. Y'all donate and hit that like button. Hit that like button. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for getting us to look. The J Fifth Ward. That is JWC Ward. Fifth Ward in the house. It's Fifth Ward. She gonna throw it up there. Carl, look, he having a birthday party April 5th. Carl is inviting everybody to his party at the Roadhouse. Everybody come to Carl Lewis' birthday party at the Roadhouse. He want to have it live and off the chain. Listen, chime in with Tanya at 470-660-1833. That number is 470-660-1833. You can chime in, share your thoughts. I know we covered some stuff, a lot of stuff I did not cover. It is never a shortage. JWC, I think me and you need to have one. You know, that last meet, she's like, just calm down. Because I be getting irritated. I be getting irritated, you know, with some of these things. Hey, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, firefighter Tanya, this is Michelle calling.
Hey, Michelle.
Tanya, I have a few things I want to ask you. Did you happen to talk about the fire that we witnessed the other day when I called you, and what they were saying about all the people that are being thrown out of McLaren in their nightgowns walking down Ballinger Highway in the cold? And all the homeless people that are living in those homes on Ballinger between Court and Corona Road.
I did talk about the homeless. I did not talk about the people who are stating that they see McLaren putting them out with just the gowns on in the middle of the night and they're walking down. I did not, because I'm working on information with that, because that's a problem. That's a problem. That the hospitals are, if they're putting them just out and sending them out, that's a serious problem. I did talk about the fire next door to the burnt out house, but I don't think people think there's 6 houses right in that area across the street and I one around the corner, which are all on the demo list now.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I was calling to ask you, when is it that the mayor has to bring his budget in front of you guys for approval? What date is that?
I don't have my charter. It's required by the charter. But we have budget hearings first. We already have the budget. I don't even know if he's going to come. I don't think he came last year before the council took recess. I don't think he did. But we will have budget hearings starting. And they only give you 15 minutes to do department budget hearings. They don't want you to ask questions. So.
Okay. And can we please, I know I keep asking, can we please, again, you or Jerry asked for an org chart? It would be nice to know.
We have one. We have one.
We have one?
We have one. Yeah, it's on our, I don't have my budget plan, but there is one. Yeah, they do have one. Yes, they do.
Oh.
I don't have my budget plan. Yeah, it's in there.
Okay. And just want to thank you for all your hard work. If nobody said thank you to you lately, you are appreciated. You and Jerry. And I thank you for being bold and showing leadership, despite all the obstacles. You don't run to the back of the room and hide when something comes up to vote and you don't want people to know what you're voting on. I just appreciate it.
Thank you. And I appreciate you.
Tell Jerry I said hello.
I will do that. Thanks, Michelle. So we do, the org chart has been asked for since 2019 with Councilman Mays. It is in the budget. It's in the booklet. I've seen it. I don't have it here to show it to y'all, but it is finally on there. If we don't have, donate to Producer Jade. It's going across the crawl. We are going to be wrapping up and closing out. And listen, wherever you are from, if it's the NOLA, if it is North Carolina, I want to say thank you to my mom, Sheena Beckton and Patrick Jean. I want to thank you from the Bamas and from the Carolinas. I appreciate y'all because y'all are an intricate part also. And so I cannot do the show. There's a lot of stuff, and we don't get into all of it because we'd be here forever. I thought about doing it every day. I don't have that kind of time, but I appreciate my mods. Patrick Jean has been on it. Meat Freaks Barbecue from Florida, Pennsylvania, Christine Leach. Wherever y'all are from, Rhonda Atkins, will Jedediah appearance be streamed so that people who don't live in Flint can watch? I don't know. There'll probably be someone streaming it. I don't know if it will be 810 News Media Group, but I think they will be there. I don't know who they got with, but I'm thinking it will probably be 810 News Media Group that they will be there streaming live. More than likely, that one just makes sense to me. But they have not, I don't know, but that would make sense to me that they would be the ones who would be doing it for sure. So, Producer Jay.
What up?
Oh, you sound bad.
Huh?
You feeling better?
Yeah, I'm good. That Tylenol, I told you they were going to kick in and got me right.
They got you right.
I can go run a marathon now.
Oh, look. Well, you got it more than I got it then. You got it. Good or Black, Bert and Ernie probably going to be really. Berta from the NOLA. Christian Jedediah. Okay. So Christine Lee says Jedediah streams his own stuff. He does. So there'll probably be two. Yes, Christine Leach, you are correct. That he does. He streams. And he even got one of them little handheld things that, he streamed from. Absolutely. And so, look, wherever y'all are from, I want to say, but look, let's put up this last donation thing because this is a lot of stuff that we covered today. There was a lot. And I didn't took my glasses, so I can't read. Tracy, listen, and thank you to everyone who has become a member. Is this the third? Tracy Glenn, Debbie Clark became members. Was it 3 members? Diane Thornton. Thank you for becoming a member. And I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna send this picture because there are some.
You had 4 today.
4. I only saw the Christine Leach. Thank you. Patrick Jean. So I appreciate each and every one of you. And one thing I like we're seeing women, we can move the world. I don't care what color you're in. Women, look, I am not discounting you men. Let me say that. Look, got much love for y'all. But I like to see that we are getting Black women, white women, Democrats, Republicans in the same room, because it's about raising our families and some of the issues and the things that are happening out this administration that people aren't going along with. So this is important to me, and I love seeing this. And so it's not about, let me tell you, these two sisters right here. Let me see, Diane and Debbie. They don't play. They show up. They are active. They were active in the water crisis, and they are active. And so, if y'all can hit that, is it somebody on the thing? Hello, Producer Jay, is that you? Okay. It's a little quiet right there. So anyways, I see his thing is open. So look, if you can donate the $ Cash Up, Producer J 1987, it'll be greatly appreciated. So we are going to log off. And so Producer J, where you at?
What were you saying? I'm sorry.
I had said to put the what's the name up, but you kind of missed it.
I was I'm sorry, my bad. Let me get to it.
Elizabeth and her Councilwoman Burns, I haven't forgotten about you. Stay encouraged. Thank you. And listen, thank y'all for being patient when I had to take the call about them looting the house. 6th Ward residents be on it. And I take calls from all over the city. All over. So look, please kindly donate to Cash App $ Producer J 1987. I could not do this show without having Producer J to help me out with it. I could not. I appreciate your help, Producer J. I honestly do. I appreciate your help, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I do. So that's probably our 20 minutes. Diane, I was trying to find y'all picture because I got, look, they are so down to earth, both of them. And I'm trying to find, because there was a picture that was taken at the, it was a picture that was taken. I got to find it. Anyways, I'll have it up. I'll have it up next week. But I appreciate everyone and for giving me your time. We have a lot that is going on in this community. So give a shout out to yourselves and high fives. I think I peaked my energy level and my voice, and I think my pain things is running off. So LaQuana, hey twin, they are twins. I'm trying to think, what did I do with those? I don't know what I did with them. So Producer Jay.
Yes, ma'am.
We can look, I want to thank everybody for being on the show. Anything that you'd like to close with?
Nope. Appreciate everybody for watching today.
All right. I want everyone to have a wonderful weekend. Love yourself. Get involved if you want change. Get involved. So sending love to each and every one of you. And if I didn't call your name, charge it to my mind, not to my heart. I definitely want to go to Roadhouse. Got some really good food, y'all. I'm serious. They do. And I know he's gonna have good food when he opens up the business downtown. It's time for Farm Marshall Burns to take a nap. Sheena, I'm feeling like I need a nap. That I am. I really am. Them 20-something shots, what? No joke. No joke at all. So look, to my mods, Sheena Beckton and Patrick Jean, thank y'all. And to each and every one of you, thank you, and thank you. And so we We only did 3 hours and 22 minutes. 20 is it going on 22 minutes? So look, we didn't go as long as we normally can go. And so I will be posting some of them flyers and things on my page. I will be doing that. This city of Flint needs a restart. We need a reset button. We need that, because what's happening in this city, we need someone that's going to bring us together and not separate us. And if somebody is fighting with you and for you, shouldn't you see them in the fight? Make sure they're in the fight with you. If you won't change, we don't need no more overseers. We got enough of them with Washington. We don't need no overseers. I want to see you in the fight, in the struggle. I want to see you doing some work. Don't just show up. I want to see you in the fight. It's going to be a lot of things that's going to change. Berta baby, listen to everybody sending y'all love, wishing you peace. And look, we signing out. Enjoy y'all weekend. So let's hit it. Producer Jay.
It's the Tanya Burns Show. Tune in right now. Like and share. Our city needs that vow. Flint City News got truth to share. When we fight the darkness, we repair. Won't give up. We're standing tall and proud. Voices rising strong, no longer shrouded. Residents deserve what's right and fair. Together we can lift the despair. We fight, we win, we break the chains. Tanya Burns won't stand out in the rain. Our city dreams will make them true. With